Let's go curling. Young hearts soar today as hopefuls try to advance to the final game and the Scott Trophy. Ontario's Jenn Hanna may be a rookie, but has the drive of a champion. With sniper-like accuracy, she has clawed her way back from the brink of elimination to make it all the way to today's semi-final. Kelly Scott of British Columbia is another one of this year's young stars. The thrill of placing second was tempered by last night's loss to Manitoba. Today, if she can defeat Ontario, she gets a second chance to challenge for the trophy. Today, young blood flows faster for a chance to be Queen of Hearts. You know what? Ice is moving in on the rock, the mouth of the St. John's Harbor Championship Curling on CBC right from Newfoundland. Mile 1 Stadium is the big house of curling today, the semi-final of the Scott Tournament of Hearts. It's Jenn Hanna of Ontario versus Kelly Scott of Kelowna, British Columbia, for the right to take on Jennifer Jones in tomorrow's final right here on the rock. Welcome to Ice Level at Mile 1 Stadium in St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm Scott Russell. Championship curling on CBC, the Scott Tournament of Hearts. And for once, you know, it is not Colleen Jones who is on her way to the final. 4 times she was the champion of this event in a row, 6 times in all, trying for an unprecedented 7th. And they gave her a standing ovation here yesterday when she went down in one of the tiebreakers. We'll talk to Colleen Jones in just a moment. But right now, the young hearts get a chance. 25-year-old Jenn Hanna of Ottawa, Ontario, against Kelly Scott, a former Canadian junior champion from Kelowna, British Columbia. The place has been packed. They love curling in St. John's. They're going to get a great match today. Right now, let's go upstairs to the booth and join Don Whitman.
Thank you, Scott. Hi, everybody. You referred to the tiebreaker that saw the elimination of the defending champion. A couple of tiebreakers were required for Jenn Hanna to advance to the 3-4 page playoff game last night. 4 teams with identical 6-5 records behind the 3 teams that were assured a spot in the playoffs, led by Jennifer Jones of Manitoba at 9-2. Kelly Scott at 8-3 and Stephanie Lawton of Saskatchewan at 7-4. In the tiebreaker round, Ontario with a hot shooting Jenn Hanna upset Kathy King, and it was Sandy Como of New Brunswick who will forever be remembered as the woman who ended the reign of Colleen Jones. That was in the tiebreaker. And then last night in the 1-2 page playoff game, Kelly Scott, trailing by 2, playing the 10th end against Jennifer Jones, had to stick and stay with her final stone to force an extra end, but the shooter rolled out, and it was victory for Manitoba over British Columbia and a spot in the championship game tomorrow. In the 3-4 page playoff game, Jenn Hanna was on fire. After stealing 4, she put an end to Stephanie Lawton's hopes with this tap back on a Saskatchewan stone en route to a 10-4 victory. So the semifinal game today, British Columbia's Kelly Scott against Jenn Hanna of Ontario, with the winner advancing to the final tomorrow against Manitoba's Jennifer Jones. Jenn Hanna and her team during round-robin play defeated Kelly Scott by a score of 8-3. They'd like to do it again today.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Scott Paper Limited and its family of quality paper products.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 24 years.
The Strauss Canada Cup of Curling in Kamloops is all about one thing: gold. Teams who have not yet qualified for the Canadian Curling Trials this December in Halifax will be going hard for one of the few remaining spots. Those teams which already own one of those coveted berths will want to have a say in who does or doesn't get one. Could be one of the most interesting events of the year. Got your tickets yet?
Hey, so what do you want to do for lunch?
Thinking soup.
Or sandwich?
Sandwich, that's good.
No. That's not enough. You boys must have proper lunch. Hearty soup and sandwich together. That's proper lunch. Okay?
It's the complete lunch that satisfies.
So, soup and sandwich at Tim's?
Sounds good.
Tim Hortons ham and Swiss sandwich on a toasted bun and our new creamy field mushroom soup. Enjoy them in a combo today.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Tim Hortons, toasted ham and Swiss and soup combo. By the original Strauss Heart Drops, trust the tradition. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
On semifinal Saturday at the Scott, welcome back to Mile One Stadium, close to a full house on hand to watch the action between Jenn Hanna of Ontario and Kelly Scott of British Columbia. As usual, I'm joined in the booth by my two broadcasting partners, Joan McCusker and Mike Harris. Mike, no 6-5 team has ever won the Scott. Jenn Hanna is in a position where she could alter history.
Well, you know, when you talk about 6-5 teams, usually you associate that with mediocre play. That's certainly not the case with Jenn Hanna and her rink. Jenn has been absolutely on fire, making everything she looks at, and, you know, it's good to have a hot skip as you come into the playoffs.
Well, when you talk about her opposition today, Kelly Scott, she's got an interesting pattern, Joan. Winning 2, losing 1, winning 2, losing 1. She lost last night, 2 more wins, and she's Scott champion.
Well, she doesn't play as spectacularly as Jenn Hanna, but she is solid. All 4 members of these teams match up evenly against Ontario. Even the third, which is a new member of this team, only been playing for a couple of months, has been shooting very, very well all week. They keep their game plan simple, but it has been effective.
Well, let's take a look at the key matchup in this game, and you've got some interesting numbers and stories about the skips.
Well, the skips match up very well. Both of them shooting at the top of the standings. Draw weight has been a little elusive for Kelly Scott, but she's been able to come up with a big game plan. The biggest difference between the two teams is that Kelly Scott tends to play a little bit more cautiously, whereas Jenn Hanna, when given a chance to take the risk, to make the big shot, will get the reward. The difference may be one of these times those risks might not work out and you give up a steal. I think Kelly Scott may keep her game plan simple, and we know Colleen Jones has won a lot of championships with a very defensive game plan.
Well, talking about Colleen Jones, I believe she may be standing by right now with Scott Russell.
Indeed she is, Whit. Here is the 6-time Canadian champion, 2-time world champion. She had won 4 Scotts in a row. Boy, it's so unfamiliar to see you with a parka on at ice level. Yeah, what are you thinking?
I don't know that I'm going to like the parka, but it'll be interesting to sit back and watch the game. And, you know, we had a terrific run, and it's never going to last forever. So, you know, our big goal for the last 2 years has been all about the Olympic trials in Halifax next December, and so we just have to refocus and kind of say, all right, you couldn't do 5 in a row, but now it's not over.
Listen, as you sit back now and watch as a learned observer, you've got 2 young ones in Jenn Hanna and Kelly Scott. Well, what do you like in this confrontation?
Well, Jenn Hanna's had a hot hand, and she's been a hot shooter. I mean, from the time she won the car the first day on the hot shots, and then she beat us in the round robin using giant shots to beat us. And then to survive the tiebreakers yesterday and then wallop Saskatchewan last night, she definitely now has momentum on her side and a whack of confidence, and you always need that in curling. Kelly Scott coming off a hard loss to Manitoba, and that kind of brings you down a bit, because you go to bed last night and you're thinking, oh, what did I do? How did I miss that shot that could have tied the game up, and I could have won it in the next end, and on and on and on. So you get these negative thoughts in your head that kind of affect how you might play today. And Kelly Scott, they're a strong team, but Hanna's got a hot, hot hand, and if she keeps shooting the way she's shooting, she's going to be a tough person to beat, even for the Manitoba grade team of Jennifer Jones tomorrow in the final.
Tell you what, Colleen, you'd make a great coach. You sure are a great champion, and I love the ovation for you yesterday. Congratulations.
Thank you, Scott. Nice to be with you.
There you go, Colleen Jones, 6 times the Canadian champion. But we've got the semifinal of the Scott this year coming up between Jenn Hanna and Kelly Scott. That's all next when we return to Mile 1.
In some families, the skill of the game is passed down from generation to generation. Strauss Heart Drops, an herbal dietary supplement based on 8 generations of herbal knowledge. Our largest heart drop sale of the year is on now at a health food store near you.
Ever notice the way guys love to use their Karcher? Is it because of Karcher's German engineering, incredible features, exceptional styling? It's because Karcher really cleans. Karcher invented the first household pressure washer and sells more of them worldwide than anybody else. Karcher is also the world leader in commercial and industrial cleaning equipment. Everyone loves their Karcher. Can you blame them? Trust Karcher. You'll look for things to clean.
That's great.
The roar you hear is 20 of Canada's top women's and men's teams competing for the right to represent us in Italy in 2006. And no city in Canada roars more than Halifax.
The Strauss Herb Company manufactures a full line of herbal dietary supplements based on traditional European recipes. Our biggest Strauss Heart Drop sale of the year is on now at a health food store near you.
Looking from atop Signal Hill back into the St. John's Harbor, and a huge ice flow and ice jam has been created. You see the ferry boat, and just in behind the ferry is Mile 1 Stadium, and that's been the venue for this 2005 Scott Tournament of Hearts. Cheers of Great Scott for this team, Holy Hanna for the Ontario Reps, and I asked Kelly Scott how she planned on playing the Ontario Reps.
We've only played them once ever. There were rocks in play, some ends were pretty open, so I think you could see a bit of both, and I think it'll come down to some big shots in this game.
Well, you heard Colleen Jones talking about the big shots that Jenn Hanna opened the competition with in defeating Team Canada by a score of 7-4. She had some big shots yesterday in winning 3 games. A lot of time on the ice here at Mile 1 Stadium. Was the team tired after a long day?
We were this high. No, it was a great feeling at the end of the day yesterday, and we got into the change room, and Dawn looks at me and she says, I don't even feel like we played 3 games today. So we went to the Heart Stop, we had a drink, and we relaxed a little bit. We had some fun. So I think that's what this is about. It's about enjoying the entire moment. It's about enjoying it all.
Well, I would suggest that Jenn Hanna, Kelly Scott, and Jennifer Jones have enjoyed it much more than the other teams that have been competing. They are the 3 teams still alive in the chase for the 2005 Scott Trophy, won for the last 4 years by Colleen Jones. Last rock on the opening end belongs to British Columbia and Kelly Scott. We heard from Kelly Scott, Joan, about the style of play that her team would incorporate. What about Ontario?
Ontario's pattern has been the first 2 ends to play quite defensively. You'll see this rock come into the house, and perhaps if this end is blank, they'll do it again for 1 more end. After that point in time, they may push the envelope a little bit, throw up a corner or a tight center guard, and see how BC reacts.
Well, last night it was the draw weight of Steph Hanna that really kept the game under control in the 3-4 game against Steph Lawton of Saskatchewan.
Yeah, the Ontario front end controlled the front of the rings, which is a huge advantage particularly when you have a lead, you need to keep your stones in front of the tee line, not allow your opponents to use them against you as the game goes on. So that certainly is a big, we talked a lot about Jenn Hanna playing so well, but certainly the Ontario front end has been phenomenal as well all week.
Control. Clean.
This first end is probably going to follow the same pattern that we have seen in almost all games during round-robin competition and in the playoffs. Pretty straightforward, both teams playing very cautiously to start things. The only exception to that rule might be the woman who is awaiting the winner of this game, Jennifer Jones of Manitoba.
She is the only team of this field that would walk up in the first end and throw a corner guard when she has last rock.
Ignoring a stone in the rings. We're seeing a corner guard here from British Columbia, but that's because there's nothing in play, and it's a good opportunity for BC to force the issue.
Renee Simons is the only member of this BC team who is a native of BC, born in Oliver, not far from her current hometown of Kelowna.
There's two ways to defend the corner guard. One is to peel it, and the other one would just come around, but we're not going to have one anyway here. But I would say Jenn Hanna is often, her defense of the corner guard is actually to go around it rather than peel it off too. So not afraid to take chances, as you mentioned, Jenn Hanna.
And we've talked about all week why these women's teams would choose to play wide open, very cautiously and very defensively in the first end, and it was right across the board with most of the teams with the exception of Manitoba. And it's worth repeating. The reason is that the curlers do have some practice ice available before the game, but they find, especially as the week goes on and there's a lot of people in the building, only one sheet in play, the ice might be slightly different. They want to feel comfortable with how much curl there is in the ice, not take chances too early and take themselves out of the game.
Sasha Carter is a former junior champion. Originally from Ashern, Manitoba, she played with Kelly Scott, then Kelly McKenzie, when she won the Canadian and World Junior Championship in 1995.
And you can tell that there is a relationship between Sasha and Kelly. As this game goes on, it will be Sasha giving Kelly a lot of input into strategy and into weight to be used for draws.
Dawn Askin ranked as the #1 second during round-robin competition, and you can see why.
Yeah, sorry. I won't use that one. Okay.
Take a look at the consistency in the performance chart of British Columbia. 2 wins, a loss, 2 wins, a loss, 2 wins, a loss, 2 wins, a loss. As we said at the start, 2 more wins, and she is Scott champion. If that pattern holds true.
Close. Yep. Hard. 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 Shot. Shot.
Kelly Scott already has a spot in the Olympic trials to be held at the Halifax Metro Center from December 3rd to the 11th. So the team that wins this Scott championship, if it is not Kelly Scott, will get a spot. If Kelly Scott wins it, the team that is the runner-up will get the spot in the Olympic trials.
I'm sure there's a small part of Jennifer Jones cheering for Kelly Scott, because that would then be her who gets that Olympic trial spot. If Jennifer Jones had to face Jenn Hanna, then the be for the Scott title and that berth in Halifax.
Michelle Allen lives in Victoria, and she competes with this team in Kelowna, flying to Kelowna every second Wednesday to play in league competition. That's one of the requirements of being eligible to be a member of the team competing in the BC Provincial Playdowns. Ontario got off to a great start, a 7-4 win over Colleen Jones and Team Canada, but then they lost 4 of their next 5. It was against British Columbia on Tuesday afternoon that they began to turn things around. 4 consecutive wins before losing the last game of round robin play to Kay Zink of Nova Scotia. And that meant that rather than move directly into the playoff picture, they had to survive a 4-team tiebreaker.
Good shot. Good shot.
They beat Kathy King of Alberta in one tiebreaker, while Sandy Como of New Brunswick disposed of Colleen Jones in the other.
It was interesting in the opening, Don, you talked about the high after coming off of 3 wins. I spoke to Coach Bob Hanna about their start this weekend. He said after Jenn won the car, and then they go out and they beat Colleen Jones in the first round robin. He said they were way high, and he goes, then they just had this mental lapse for a day and a half. They just didn't have the same energy. So it'll be interesting to see if they can maintain the emotion this time, and as they failed to do so at the beginning of the week.
Good job.
At the beginning of the week, sorry, Don, I've been watching the relationship between Michelle Allen and Kelly Scott. To explain, Michelle has just joined this team. Longtime third, Gina Schrader, had a baby just last week, and she played with this team up until December, and then Michelle took over. Michelle would come regularly to play with the team, knowing that she'd be going in the BC playdowns. And really, that's an unknown factor when you've got a team that has played together a long time, and then you put in another player at third. And I have been so impressed with how easily Michelle and Kelly Scott get along together and communicate.
And a little bit of a similar story with Ontario. Pascal Latendre coming in. Their 5th player, Joelle Sabrin, is due to have a baby in May. And she played.
Good job.
And sorry, Pascal's the new member on the team this year.
Pretty straightforward opening end in this semifinal.
Roll a little wide side, that's good. Okay. Over there.
Kelly Scott, nee Mackenzie, first appeared on the national scene as a 13-year-old in the final of the 1991 Canadian Junior. She was playing with Jill Staub along with Jennifer Jones, and the team lost the 1991 Junior final.
Yep. Yeah, right up.
Heather Smith was the winner.
Right up, little Renee. If you can. Okay, shot. Good job, Kelly.
She would have loved a nose hit like that last night.
That was good.
On the final end against Jennifer Jones of Manitoba. It would have forced an extra end. No guarantee that she would have gone on to victory, but she would have forced an extra end in that game and had a shot at automatically moving on to the final in the Page playoff system.
And looking for a word to describe Kelly Scott, I couldn't think of anything but sweet. This is just an absolutely lovely woman, and the demeanor among the team is very, very nice, very pleasant. They don't yell and scream. They're great competitors, but keep everything under check. And if you compare that with Ontario, Jenn, Hanna, you'd come up with a word like feisty.
They got to go hard here. Sorry, John, they got to go hard here for a piece.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's good sweeping. Sorry.
That's okay. Jenn Hanna is very, very feisty. She's decisive. She is the self-proclaimed leader of this team. She'll take input from her team, but ultimately she makes all the decisions. Just two very different personalities, two very different teams.
Well, we were teasing Jenn Hanna yesterday after her afternoon game, one of the tiebreakers against Sandy Como of New Brunswick, when they called a timeout, and I said, "You're slagging your father on national TV." She said, "I don't know why Bob's coming out here, because he's just going to tell us to play a straight draw when she had an opportunity to play a double to get 3. And instead her father, who is the coach, said, play the shot you want. And it was the double that Jenn wanted to play.
Go hard.
And that eventually led to her victory in the second tiebreaker. Well, Kelly Scott wanted to hit and roll out to retain last rock advantage. Instead, she's got a nose hit, and BC is first on the board in this semifinal against Ontario.
When we set out to replace cottonelle with an even better cottonelle, we asked women, what could be softer than cotton?
Flannel.
Silk.
Cashmere.
Oh my. Introducing new cashmere from Cottonelle. Now quilted to be irresistibly soft.
Come try your first end.
I wasn't sure, but I tried it.
Your very first end.
We tried it.
You should try it.
Now we do it together.
Get out.
Go curling.
It's so much fun!
Meet between the sheets. Be part of a tradition.
Be part of a team.
You don't know what you're missing.
You never forget your first end.
Your very first end.
Come play.
Discover curling.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
Get off your butt and go curling!
Back pain. It can affect more than your back. Robax Platinum, a special combination of 2 active ingredients. One to relieve back pain, the other to relax tense back muscles. Robax Platinum, helping you walk away from back pain.
You wanna rock your world? There's only one way. It starts by getting tickets to the Fort World Men's today.
The world's best curlers are coming to Victoria. Now there are new ticket packages ranging from 2 days to 4 days and priced from just $75. Call toll-free or online at fordworldcurling.com.
This is where the world will rock, Victoria. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Now featuring free high-speed internet access at most hotels. Visit bestwestern.com for locations.
Welcome back to Mile One Stadium. Jenn Hanna and her Ontario team attempting to parlay a 6-5 record into the first ever Scott Tournament of Hearts Championship. The only team that came close with a 6-5 record was in 2003 when Kathy Cunningham of Newfoundland lost the final on an extra end to Colleen Jones by a score of 9-7. But one of the differences 2 years ago is that Cunningham, with a 6-5 record, finished in 4th place by herself. No tiebreakers were required to move on. Yesterday, 2 tiebreakers for the Jenn Hanna team to advance to the Page playoff game against Saskatchewan.
You never know what's going to make the playoffs at an 11-game round robin. 8-3 has made the playoffs before, and 7-4 has been on the outside looking in. So just depends on the field.
It's in, girls.
Well, as Joan has pointed out a number of times this week, this has been a very competitive field.
It is one of the best fields of the Scott Tournament of Hearts that I have ever seen. The level of play has been fantastic. And part of that speaks to great, consistent ice and rocks. And the other part of it speaks to how good the curling in Canada is right now. All these players have been sticking with this game, playing since they were juniors. And that might have a lot to do with the potential of going to the Olympics. We're attracting more athletes, and they're sticking with this game longer. And I am excited for women's curling because we have a whole field of great athletes coming up in this sport that we're going to see over and over again.
Well, it could very definitely be a changing of the guard in women's curling in Canada. We'll see if the trend continues when the Scott is held next year in London, Ontario.
Ontario tried to throw up a corner guard here in the second end, ignoring the stone in the top of the 8-foot, and Steph Hanna slid into the rings, allowed BC to hit.
With last rock, Jenn Hanna, for the most part during the week, has been aggressive.
Yep.
She's very methodical though. It's not crazy aggressive that she's ignoring rocks that many people would remove. She really thinks through every shot. It's very impressive.
Great shot.
That's a good shot by Sasha Carter.
Well, Joan, you talked about the resume of the young rinks that are competing this year, and the four that were in the playoffs: the 1994 champion, the 95 champion, 30 years of age, 27 years of age. Runner-up in 1998, Jenn Hanna, is 25 years old, and Steph Lawton of Saskatchewan, who was eliminated last night by Hanna, a former junior champion.
Yes! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And former junior champions at a variety of positions, scattered through the lineups of almost every other team.
10, guys.
And there's a reference to the type, how hard they'll throw their takeout weight is 10, and that is
9.5.
the time between the two hog lines. That's a reference to 10 seconds. It's an indication of how hard they'll throw.
Okay, off. Yeah, too much weight. Sorry, guys. Shot, Sash. Okay, good shot.
Sasha Carter was unable to save her shooter.
Control. Same thing.
At what point on an end do you abandon any plans to maybe try and get something going with corner guards?
I think it all depends on the time in the game, how desperate that you are to get your points. Because this is still early, it looks like Ontario is abandoning their efforts to ignore rocks in the rings and throw up the corner guard. And from this point on, if things remain the same, as in BC does not hit and roll out or flash, would just continue to hit out and blank and start all over
Wait,
next
nice,
game.
9.5. Just clean. Clean. Let it come up.
So I guess to answer your question, Don, it all depends on the timing in the game and the score. How desperate are you to try to create that multiple score with last rock?
You also talked, Joan, about the younger curlers coming to the fore this year in the Scott.
Control. Yep.
A very definite change in the style of play of these younger curlers as well. Only a handful choose to lift the rock now.
Definitely, and it's not just the younger players that have the no-lift delivery, is what we call it. Many of the veterans have switched to no-lift as well. And why? It is because you have a greater stability on your line of delivery. If you don't lift the rock, there's less that can go wrong in coming out of the hack. We see Michelle Allen is only a handful of players that still lift the rock. And when you lift the rock and you lift it to one side or the other, and it causes you to come out off balance, and then you can't get close to the broom. So younger players have been taught to not lift the rock and generate all the momentum from shifting their hips back into the hack and pushing out with leg drive. So a lot more fitness in the quads of their legs and that sort of thing. The only drawback I find is that the younger players then have trouble throwing really big weight, like the ultra peel weight that you can generate by lifting up that stone. Especially young women, it takes them a long time to develop the ability to throw hard accurately.
Pascal Latande attempting to go behind the stone that is sitting just outside the rings.
Hard, second corner. Hard, 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 hard.
And she'll hide a piece of it.
Good shot.
Just one other comment on that lift delivery. Some curling fans watching this afternoon may remember a longtime Saskatchewan national competitor, a Brier competitor, Bob Pee Wee Pickering. He not only lifted the stone, he had it up over his head.
Ah, yes. think they'd be drug testing him now, looking for the looking for the steroid use. Well, and that goes with another reason why there is no lift, and that's because the ice conditions are so much better these days. Our junior players don't have to learn to throw very hard on natural ice like many people used to play on and have to throw very, very hard all the time.
Clean, just clean.
Yeah! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's a very nice throw.
Kelly Scott right on target.
That's good.
And Jenn Hanna wants to get a bit of an inside roll.
Good call.
She'd love to roll in behind this guard. What you'd like to do, though, is you want to roll half buried. Completely buried will allow a straight run back on that yellow guard and leave the BC stone also buried. So you'd like to roll it half under, not completely under on this last shot at the end. She still would love to blank the end.
Okay. Let's make this.
And you can see there really isn't enough room to completely roll fully behind that Yellowstone anyway.
She works in the Human Resources Department at the House of Commons as an administrative assistant.
Clean. Yes! Yep! Hurry! Yay! Yep! Hard!
Just a bit of a roll. Again, a portion of the stone hidden by the yellow rock out front.
It's a great shot.
Very close to the guard.
As we said earlier, when Jenn Hanna makes a good shot,
That's the best we could do, I think. Yeah.
her supporters in the crowd yell, "Holy Hanna!" When Kelly Scott comes up with a good shot, her supporters yell, "Great Scott!"
Where's my weight? Boardish.
Both sets of fans have had lots
What
to
you
yell
wanted
about
to
this
throw.
week. They've been some great
Board,
shot
maybe up a
making.
bit. Between control and board.
That's just a great shot to put a little bit of pressure on BC again. This is not a really difficult shot, but nice thing for Ontario, the best they can do is hit and roll open, give Jenn Hanna an open opportunity to blank.
Ten. Clean. Yep.
Hard.
Yep, go hard.
Hard!
Front end, Sasha Carter and Renee Simons working hard to get it past the guard. Will they succeed? No, they're going to hit their own stone out front, and that will give Jenn Hanna an opportunity with final stone, an open draw for two.
Yeah, it did grab curl earlier. Yeah.
Just a great little shot there from Jenn Hanna, put some pressure on BC and
That's why I thought we'd play that.
forced the error.
You were a little less than your first throw in terms of weight.
She had like 11 and a half,
Yeah,
and it still didn't go. Shoot.
You hear
Okay,
BC
this is
timing the opposition draw, or sorry, hit weight, 11 and a half, which is very quiet hit weight. We've seen that all week from Team Ontario. They just don't throw the big weight like a lot of the other teams do. Great opportunity here, though, for a deuce.
And because of that reason, if there was a chink in the armor for this Ontario team, is that they have trouble defending because they can't throw big peel weight.
Jenn Hanna has certainly all week demonstrated her ability to play draw shots, and this one is going to come to rest right on the button. So Jenn Hanna with the final stone, event number 2, gets a deuce and leads by 1.
I knew it didn't need a lot of help.
A wide stance keeps you steady on your feet. So mounting the shocks outside the frame widen the stance of the Ford F-150. It's the first pickup to do this. Good luck knocking this off its feet. We keep thinking about tough because we want you to drive a Ford.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts is coming to London's John Labatt Centre next February, and full event passes are on sale now. For the best seats in the house, you can call toll-free or order online. Join us in the Forest City.
Hey, so what do you want to do for lunch? Thinking soup. Or sandwich? Sandwich,
No, that's not enough. You boys must have proper lunch. Hearty soup and sandwich together. That's proper lunch, okay?
It's the complete lunch that satisfies.
So, soup and sandwich at Tim's? Sounds good.
Tim Hortons ham and Swiss sandwich on a toasted bun. And our new creamy field mushroom soup. Enjoy them in a combo today.
Curling. With every game played, your contact to the world expands. With over 1 million participants utilizing 1,100 clubs across the country, curling is an entertaining, social way to stay active. Play for fun, play to win, or just come out and enjoy the membership benefits. Clubs can be assisted by the Canadian Curling Association's Development Fund, which serves to promote, renovate, and offer advice on operations. Get involved. Join a club near you today. It has lifetime value.
Hi, I'm Betty Hinton, Member of Parliament for Kamloops Thompson Caribou.
And I'm Jim Strauss, manager of the Strauss Herd Company.
We'd like to invite you to join us to attend the Strauss Canada Cup of Curling this March in beautiful Kamloops, British Columbia. Bring your skis and take a few runs at the Sun Peaks Resort.
Or bring your golf clubs and play our award-winning Kamloops golf courses.
Above all, enjoy watching the best curlers in the country at this year's Strauss Canada Cup of Curling.
Come join us in Kamloops.
This week on Monday Report, it's Don Cherry.
Yeah, no 7-second delay.
Hey, Don, pass me the puck.
All right.
Oh, it's quite a game.
Don't miss an all-new Rick Mercer's Monday Report, 8 o'clock on CBC.
Jenn Hanna with the draw to the button, the final stone of 2 to pick up 2 and lead 2-1. And it was actually on Tuesday afternoon that her run to what proved to be a tie-breaking spot and an opportunity to move to the playoffs began against British Columbia. An 8-3 victory followed up by an 8-3 decision over New Brunswick, 7-6 over Saskatchewan, 8-5 over Alberta before losing the final round-robin game against Kay Zink, who may have had her best game of the competition from Nova Scotia, and that created the 4-way tiebreaker. But it was the game against BC that started the momentum for Team Ontario, a team that had lost 4 of its previous 5.
I'm surprised here by the call by BC, and that is to hit this stone in the top 12. But their other choice is to go out and throw a corner guard and create some offense. A little bit deflating for British Columbia because they gave up the cheap deuce, meaning that Ontario didn't really work hard to get those 2 points. BC's shot selection when Kelly Scott racked the guard on trying to make that takeout. She could have played her own on the outside and just removed everything in play and made the blank very, very easy for Jenn Hanna. So I'm surprised that that BC is not being more offensive this end, trying to get the 2 back.
Control. Clean. Yep. Yes. Hard.
The winner of this game, as we have mentioned several times, moves on to the final tomorrow afternoon against Manitoba's Jennifer Jones. Jones last night was the victor over Kelly Scott in the 1-versus-2 Page playoff game.
BC going in here because they are forced to. That stone is in the free guard zone. The Ontario stone that is very close to the rings.
Line's good.
She was on the 1991 BC Provincial Junior team that was skipped by Allison McInnes.
Coming down for weight. 4, 3, 4. Yeah, we're probably going to be on it. Are you any shorter of it? Yeah. Bring it over a bit.
That was the same year that Kelly Scott played in the juniors.
I think just light in it.
Representing Manitoba.
It's one of the great things about a sport and participating in national championships is you do forge friendships over the course of time. I mean, I've played in the 86 juniors and still play against many of the competitors. Jonathan Mead is one of the fellows who was there. He won the Canadian Junior Championship this year, or that year, curling out of Manitoba, and now plays with Jeff Stoughton.
5. You want to go tight? We can go tight.
It's a small
4, 5.
world
It's getting
curling
better.
community.
Whoa, 4. Whoa. Okay, 3. Whoa. 2, 3. Yep.
Rock is well outside. It's starting to break hard now.
Leave it there.
We have seen a bit of movement on this sheet C.
Good shot. Okay.
Throughout the week.
Wait.
And we spoke about the conditions of this arena ice. And Mike and I both feel that it curls quite a lot from the outside towards the center line if you're looking to bury a stone, even around corner guards, to go wide. Because the inside down the center line towards the wings is fairly straight. It will move, just not until the very, very end.
Difficult to get a stone completely buried around a corner guard from inside out.
Whoa. Shot. Shot, Sash.
And the stone just delivered by Sasha Carter is the one that Jenn Hanna wants removed.
Ontario's got a well-positioned stone very tight to the rings here, and it's going to be hard for BC to get completely around it. So best way in for British Columbia would be to play a tap on this stone that's being hit by Ontario.
Good job. Nice shot. Like that? I like that, yeah.
So we talk about the control zone, owning that area in front of the rings that is protecting the forefoot. And most teams will set up that even if you're not going into the rings early, if you've got rocks out front of the forefoot in front of the rings, then you're in good position as the end goes on to tap them forward no matter what the opposition does.
Close. Eight. Yep. Room. Whoa. Lots of room. 8, 9.
8, 9 is behind the tee line.
Off now.
Well by the guard.
Okay, Sash.
Okay, Sash.
And it is going to come to rest back in the 12-foot.
Top 8.
And with that stone for potential backing, Jenn Hanna calls for a rock in the top of the 8-foot.
Ontario has a chance to really put it to BC with this shot, with owning that area in front of the forefoot and getting this rock in partly buried in front of the tee line. They'll be in great position to steal.
Wait's pretty good. No line.
Well, in the round-robin game, it was the ability to steal. 3 consecutive points.
No, right to the back. Whoa, gotta wait for line still.
They were leading by a score of 4-2 when they stole 1 on the 6th and 2 more on the 7th.
Sorry, I thought it a little more. Good.
Stone is wide open for British Columbia. There is may even be a little bit of air there, but
Probably just go here.
Okay.
Top 4.
Okay, 14? 14, I think, yep.
I think that's a great call. Just because if you play the little hit and roll off of the shot stone, you'll be behind the tee line, and Ontario would have a chance to either draw or tap back to get shot stone.
The second Scott appearance for Michelle Allen. She played with Pat Sanders, a former Canadian champion.
8, 9. 8, 9. Just clean.
Played with her in 1999 when the BC Reps had a record of 3 and 8 at the Scott. Sanders won the Scott in 1987. Nice tap back by Michelle Allen. BC lies 2.
And that was plan B. The original call was just to come in and get shot stone in front of the tee line, but the sweepers let the person in the house know what weight it is. And that is just absolutely paramount to be able to switch the plan, still make a great shot because you know that it's not the weight that was called.
I think try to move that. Do that or we can come right down on top. I like the hit. You like the hit? It's hit. Hit, hit.
Tough shot.
Okay.
Freeze wouldn't be a bad option here.
Okay, you got this.
But Ontario electing to try the double. Perhaps hit and roll.
I don't think there's a roll inside here.
Nope.
If they do hit and roll, it'll be wide.
Exactly.
And BC will have lots of options open to them.
During round-robin competition, Pascal Letendre was the #1 ranked third.
Hard! Yes, 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 yes!
She gets a jam at the back. Her stone is shot.
Almost fell.
Just watch, she just kind of loses her balance a bit as she's coming out.
Sorry, we had to get a little thinner. Oh, that's fine. I almost got one. I know, they just showed it. I'll try.
This is a great chance here for British Columbia to get a little hit and roll inside and
9-5.
lie too well buried. Not sure I love that call from Ontario there. I think I would have preferred the freeze.
Whoa.
That was almost the best they could do there.
Whoa! Whoa!
Michelle Allen looking for the inside roll behind cover.
She's got much more weight than what
Shot.
Ontario
Great
threw.
shot.
And you can see what it'll run straight when you up your weight. I don't think that's such a great shot. You see that Ontario's got a chance to hit and roll.
Yeah, and she threw that pretty hard. Okay.
Control. Control.
Okay. It's time, eh?
Yeah. Did just get it, bubble it out a little bit?
I think just the weight was holding it.
Okay.
Like, it did come up, so there is curl, but it just
So now advantage goes back to Ontario.
Control.
Get a hit and roll, be in front of the tee line and shot stone.
As you drew their ship, they can roll deep underneath these guards. You'd love to get right behind the double guard would be ideal. But certainly a lot of area to roll to where it'll be protected.
Well, as I said, in the round robin, it was the ability to steal points that enabled Jenn Hanna to defeat British Columbia. She's endeavoring to steal here on end number 3, leading by a score of 2-1. She wants to hit and roll inside off this shot rock.
Whoa! Whoa!
She's going to roll too far.
Hey, Jen. It's sweeping.
There's such a difference between the hit weight used by Jenn Hanna and the hit weight used by Michelle Allen, the third on BC.
Even though we're coming around the red, this way could set up a jam. Come the way we've seen.
I think you just have to throw it to the sweepers and let them pull it in.
They talked about the two options of this draw, and they decided they got to go with what they know, and that is this side. The other side is open to them too to come into here, but again, they get into a little bit unknown territory, so they're going to play the turn that they've seen come down the ice all end. And the key, again, keep it in front of the tee line.
With that weight.
You're right. You better short here.
The top ring weight
Take away that in-turn draw from Jenn Hanna than it is to come to the back where you can kill the end.
Well, we'll be seeing more of Kelly Scott. She'll be participating in the Canada Cup. That takes place in Kamloops from the 15th to the 20th of March, and then she'll be in the Olympic trials at the Halifax Metro Center December 3rd to the 11th. But right now she has a Scott Tournament of Hearts title on her mind.
Let it die. 8. Whoa. Whoa.
8 is
Whoa.
back 8 foot behind the tee line.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay.
As we said, now Ontario has an out, a way to get out of the end.
I know.
Force BC to just play a more difficult shot for one.
Very important shot, though. This is easy, but because of the situation here, little wide, little heavy, could end up giving BC a chance for 3.
The same here is where I threw my last draw?
A little heavier.
Okay.
Not much. You need about an 80.
What did I throw in that draw last time?
90? Yeah.
And so that wouldn't be enough?
That would not be enough. No.
Okay, so I need like an 85?
Yeah.
Okay. T-line, okay, girls? Okay, let's make it.
It's a great conversation with the front end. The
Doesn't have to be
85
right frozen. Okay.
is making reference to the split time, where the sweepers use the back line to the first hog line. It'll be a 3.85, 3 seconds. It's a reference to how hard she's throwing the rock.
Line only.
The front end,
maybe 8.
Steph Hanna and Dawn Askin,
Whoa, Steph.
two of the better
Right on.
rushers in this
line at all.
competition. Is this stone going to bend enough to even come close to making contact with the 2 yellow, to sit on top of the 2 yellow? It won't, and it's going to come to rest.
Okay.
And it is third shot. So now for Kelly Scott.
Wait.
With final stone, a chance for 3.
Play to the red. No.
Easy shot for 3.
Like, we can tap the red. We can't tap our yellow. No. We're just 2.
And you can hear Sasha Carter.
It's 2 now. Yep. So straight draw. If we're a little heavy, we can come to the red.
Yep.
Right.
We're talking about you can come to this red one, but they cannot over curl and tap their own yellow ones and only get 2. As you said, Mike, an easy shot for 3, but so very important.
Full 8-foot required by Kelly Scott with the last rock of this third end. She trails by a score of 2-1. A chance to take a 2-point lead.
Yep. Wait only. Wait only. Backing. Still on the reds.
You got backing.
Still on the reds. Whoa.
8.
Okay. Line's nice.
Just
starting to curl the yellow.
Off the red.
Yep. 8. We're okay.
She didn't need any backing with the final stone of the third end. She draws to the edge of the 4 to pick up 3. And for Kelly Scott, trailing by a point, she now leads by 2.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 24 years.
You already know these uses for your karcher. Here's a few you might not have thought of. The hat rack. The shower. The centerpiece. The chandelier. You can always use a karcher.
Bill's family opened the store in '36. Now we're carrying on. Our customers feel free to ask questions. We've earned their trust. We're always on the go. We like it that way.
True value. Help is just around the corner. With Jack Frost still nipping at your, well, you get the picture. The time is right for an early spring sojourn to the West Coast's most hospitable destination. Balmy. See something you like? And just for you folks who tend to get homesick, we've made special arrangements to add a little ice. Now that's got to feel a lot like home. Call now for package details. Victoria, British Columbia. Is there somewhere else?
Hurry! 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 Come on! Hurry hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry!
Back at Mile 1 Stadium in St. John's, Newfoundland, after 3 ends of play, it's 4-2 Kelly Scott of BC over Jenn Hanna of Ontario, with John McClellan, the corporate vice president of Scott Paper Limited. Tell us about the celebration, and it continues, that has been here at Mile 1 Stadium.
Scott, this has been an exceptional Scott Tournament of Hearts, as the last 23 before it have been. But the group here, the host committee, Don Nickerson and his group of 700-plus volunteers have put on a first-class show.
25 years next year when you go to London, Ontario. What does that say about your company's belief in the importance of this sport to Canadians?
I hope it demonstrates our commitment and our passion for the sport of curling in Canada. It's been a wonderful relationship, a wonderful association. We believe we can take it to even newer heights next year, and are planning to do that for the 25th.
A last quick question. You know, Colleen Jones isn't in there this year. Makes giving out the prizes easy, doesn't it?
We can go back to the jewelry.
Way to go, John. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, Scott.
John McClellan of Scott Paper Limited. Don?
Yeah, I was trying to find something new for Colleen Jones, and her championship team became a difficult chore for the sponsor. And Colleen Jones was the first recipient of the Scott Trophy when it was initially awarded in Regina in 1982.
Halfway.
A 1999 victory for Colleen Jones, followed up 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, and of course 2 world championships in 2001 and 2004.
Well, Scott Paper is one of the reasons why women's curling, the Canadian Championship, is the premier women's sporting event in Canada. This is where all female athletes want to be. And I can speak on behalf of all curlers of how appreciative we are of the Scott Paper support in partnership with the Canadian Curling Association to put on such a great championship.
2.5. Okay, whoa line. Stick, whoa line. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And no championship such as this could be successful without the work of a large number of volunteers. And the people here in St. John's have been wonderful. They've been so helpful, so cooperative, and always greeting you with a smile.
Back 4, Steph.
Let's go, Steph.
Our game is getting very interesting, and as we set up early in the game, talking about how important the lead rocks are. Steph Hanna playing so fantastic last night. We'll need to really step up her play for Ontario to get this 2 points back.
Are they past the guard?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
They just sneak past. Onto the shot stone, pushing it to the back of the 8-foot.
It's a great shot.
Well thrown, well brushed. How close they come to that guard.
Good sweep. Nice shot. Back line, I think.
You can see it rolls out just a little bit from the guard, so BC will be able to play a little tap back on this red stone.
Weight's good.
Yep. Yep. Clean.
Yep.
10, 11. Yep. Quick. Yep. Quick.
They'll have to work to get it past the guard.
Whoa.
They're okay.
Nice shot, Sash. Very nice shot.
Sasha Carter has BC lying 2.
And that shot is all about weight, throwing the right weight for what the skip has called, because if you overthrow that, it's going to run straight, and if you throw it too soft, it would have racked the guard. It's very important.
9. 8, 9. Yes. Whoa. 8, 9. Clean. 8. Clean. 9. Clean. Right back, Steph. Yep. Nice shot.
Had a girl.
Yep.
I don't mind that same weight.
Okay.
And I'm going to draw your attention to the sweepers. Renee Simons, the lead for BC. And she's the sweeper that's closest to the stone, sometimes overextends herself. She's on the left side of the screen. And while she's brushing, sometimes she's not in front of the running surface.
Yep. Bumper. Clean. Yep.
And we talk about the running surface right in the middle of the rock. And to be effective, the brush needs to go back and forth in front of the middle. And when we watch Renee, occasionally she overextends and becomes ineffective. We'll see if that has any bearing as this game goes on.
Board. Let's go.
Great setup here. Nice shot by Sasha Carter.
Well, BC now attempting to steal, leading by 2 points, playing this 4th end.
Hurry! Whoa. Good shot. Good.
A jam at the back. BC still lies 2.
Sweet. Good job, bud.
Nice, precise shot making here in the second end. A lot of good shots by both sides so far.
What turn would you prefer? Go this way?
Sure.
BC continuing to roll just
10?
beside that
9,
center guard is actually the best spot for this. If they roll completely under this guard,
normal.
you'll see Ontario play the out-turn come around. They'd love to just cut off that path on the out-turn side.
Shot.
Shot, Michelle.
It rolls over to the 12-foot, and the 3 BC stones are ignored by Jenn Hanna as she calls for a draw to the top of the 8. 24-year-old Pascal Latande at 3rd stone, a registered nurse in the labor and delivery department at the Ottawa Hospital.
Wait, real good. Quick. Top 8. Top 8. Yep. Got room. Full 8.
Quick.
Hurry. Quick. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Keep going.
They wanted full 8.
Shot.
They don't get there, and it is 3rd shot.
Not a bad spot, though. It's difficult for BC to deal with. They cannot get an inside roll on that stone. And there is a possibility of a jam.
Michelle?
Yep.
Yeah. Just through then?
Need to come by this guard very tightly
Just heavy
to
draw.
hit it straight back.
Okay. Just bump it through the rings.
Okay.
A little tougher than the shots they've faced so far in this end, in this spot.
And being a little bit wide, we'll jam it right back on those yellow stones at the back of the house.
The stones behind the tee line, the 2 yellow stones for British Columbia, could work to the advantage of the team with last rock. In this case, it's Ontario.
Right up. Go hard.
Hurry!
Hurry.
Hurry! Quick!
Go hard. Go hard.
Will she be able to get past the guard? It's going to be very close. She's going to get a slight rub out front.
Hey, Michelle.
Okay.
Good sweeping. Good sweeping.
Okay, sorry. All right.
Jenn Hanna has decided to go to the other turn for Pascal Latande's 2nd stone of this end, calling for the in-turn draw behind cover on the edge of the 4-foot.
I'm a little surprised by this call. The opportunity is there for a little tap back or a split on the stone that Pascal just threw. They're out here into fresh ice.
And that may be a problem with the red guard sitting well out there, and they are frantically working on it, trying to get it by, and they get just a slight rub, but they get a break here as it rolls into the rings, but it will roll too far. It will be
Good sweep.
5th shot.
Try.
Just paper this guard as they go by.
I'd like to come this way to get more of the 4-foot, but I think this way we're going to hook it in better.
Yeah, the finish is a little stronger coming up moved.
Yeah, it is, but then she's still got that.
A lot.
You better probably beat her. Okay.
Another interesting call here. Another option for BC is just to hit that stone at the top 12-foot.
I'm
control.
beat her this way. Even if
shocked.
we make it good the other way, she can still come here.
Okay, port just looks small from down here this way, that's all.
That would be a nice situation, I think, if
big
you're
from
lying
down there,
one at the top
doesn't it?
12
Yeah.
and you have
That
4 in the
in-turn
rings.
looks a lot
This is
bigger than
allowing
the no-turn.
Ontario a tap
Looks
on the
kind of
next zone.
small from down here.
I think Kelly Scott is calling this. She's afraid that Ontario's going to call
If
the
you
same
nose
shot
this
that
top
Pascal
red one, though,
just
she has to come in-turn. You've always
just
got the
wrapped on.
bump on this one.
Would rather hit it?
Well, I don't mind the hit on it. To leave it for the bump next.
Do you want to hit that, Michelle?
On the nose?
There's Sasha Carter. As I said before, that's the relationship.
one
They
pretty
discuss
straight.
strategy because Michelle Allen is the new member to this team.
And Michelle doesn't often voice her opinion right away. She'll wait.
Better call.
I agree.
So the thinking is, even if Ontario does play that
Hard, hurry!
draw again and makes it, this shot will be here to tap.
Whoa! Clean, clean, clean. Whoa!
She wanted a nose hit, and she gets it.
That's good, Cal.
Very nice.
A lot of pressure now on Ontario.
That's good, I like that.
If Jenn Hanna is unable to make this
That's
in-turn
probably
draw,
good.
there will be very little opportunity for her to
Looks pretty
score.
small from the other end.
Yeah. Well, it works out.
So Ontario wants to come down into this 4-foot area And because Kelly Scott knows this, she would have a little tap on this stone, and her shooter would stay there, and she would have a chance to counteract Ontario's great draw and either hold Ontario to 1 or have a chance to steal. And that's why that was the right call on Kelly Scott's first stone.
Okay, we got this. Let's go, Jen.
In the tiebreaker against Kathy King, the 1998 champion curled 95%. And she lost 5-3 to Jenn Hanna and her Ontario team. And she said, there's not much you can do when someone is absolutely on fire. She made triples, doubles, runbacks, everything. She was a one-woman wrecking crew.
Well, I'll tell you right now, this is the most important shot she's thrown all week. If she does not get shot stone here, she is going to have a hard time scoring.
Really coming down.
And she trails by 2 playing this 4th end. She is looking at 4 BC stones. She's got good draw weight. Will it slide far enough? I don't know whether it's shot or not. I don't think so.
It looks like it's second shot.
We're not shot, eh?
But still in a position that can be tapped later if they need to. I know it's not perfect, but it's not too bad either.
Well, as you mentioned, John, if BC's able to tap this stone into the top of the button, Ontario may be forced to give up a steal of 1 here. Like, it's not a great situation here.
No.
This is about what I gave you to just draw there, so I think it should hold.
She's going to play that exact same shot you drew up, tap it to the top of the button.
Not taking a tremendous amount of ice either. We spoke about there isn't a huge amount of curl using these rocks that have been used at the Scotch Run of Hearts for the last 4 or 5 years.
Weight's great. 8.
Yep, line. Yep, line.
Room.
Line only.
More line.
Line only.
We're
Close.
Quick, you gotta go hard.
There's a danger of this stone curling too much.
Right up, don't touch, whoa.
Great, Cal.
Very close to being shot. At any rate, BC is lying 2.
Because Renee's was quite a spinner, her draw.
Oh.
No opportunity here for Jenn Hanna to
Great weight. Great weight.
get
Oh, I
to.
thought that was run right down the sheet.
Simple draw into the button.
It's not us. We're third.
I suppose if you were desperate, you could try a double.
Well, I think if you're in the 10th end, you needed a deuce. I think it's possible, but it's really tough. You have to just throw it so hard. But again, this is a huge shot, though. Against 2,
he's
down 2, playing the 4th end.
Now, if I throw that same weight, am I good? Pound it, yeah.
The steal of 2 would be huge here for Kelly Scott of BC. So this is a critical shot, the final stone of the 4th end for Jenn Hanna of Ontario. She scored 2 in the 2nd, but gave up a triple on the 3rd, and now she's facing these 2 BC stones in the back of the 8.
Line's good. No backing. T. It's okay. Do you need it? No, we're good. No? Okay.
The front end says the weight is good.
Yeah, it's good. Okay.
Is that an accurate assessment? Yes, it is, as she comes to rest at the back of the 4-foot. So a pressure draw for Jenn Hanna with the final stone of 4. It's a 1-point game. BC on top.
2 keys.
Hey, thanks. Cheers.
Give him to me! Give him to me! Oh, I think you've sprained his neck. Alexander Keith labored on this beer since 1820, and you plonk it on the head like it's a piñata. It's the pride of Nova Scotia. Give it the respect it deserves. Now, grab that there napkin, make a wee neck brace. No, Nancy, you've done enough for one night. Wrap it around. Not a hat, a neck brace, Jimmy. Is it so difficult? It's not a fashion show, it's an emergency. You want to rock your world? There's only one way. It starts by getting tickets to the Fort World Men's today.
The world's best curlers are coming to Victoria. Now there are new ticket packages ranging from 2 days to 4 days and priced from just $75. Call toll-free or online at FordWorldCurling.com.
This is where the world will rock, Victoria.
Beyond the shore, there's a place where nature only comes in one size. A place where whales and icebergs cross paths. Newfoundland and Labrador.
Come try your first end.
I wasn't sure, but I tried it.
Your very first end. We tried it. You should try it.
Now we do it together. Get out.
Go curling.
It's so much fun!
Meet between the sheets. Be part of a tradition.
Be part of a team.
You don't know what you're missing.
You never forget your first end.
Your very first end. Come play. Discover curling.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
Get up, get light, and go curling!
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Now featuring free high-speed internet access at most hotels. Visit bestwestern.com for locations.
Canada's new online magazine for arts, media, and entertainment. The latest trends and ideas shaping music, film, television, books, and more. Bringing you face-to-face with the people and issues shaping culture today. cbc.ca/arts.
Back to Mile 1 Stadium, 4-3 for Kelly Scott over Jenn Hanna after 4 ends of play. They're passing the bucket around in the stands here in aid of the children who benefit from the Sandra Schmirler Foundation. Athletes from Alberta and from New Brunswick everywhere. Last week we had a wonderful telethon, raised more than $100,000. You can still donate. There is the website to go to, sandraschmirler.org, to make it happen for the children here. The Sandra Schmirler Foundation. Nancy Dullahan of Team Canada 4 times in a row. She was the Canadian women's curling champion with Colleen Jones, twice a world champion. Sandra Schmirler Foundation continues to benefit. Back to curling, here's Don.
Well, it's the members of the teams that aren't competing that are in the stands passing the bucket, or the hat if you prefer, whatever the collection device. And for the last 4 years, Team Canada hasn't been in the stands because they've been on the ice.
Absolutely. I got to say, it's really weird for Mike and I to be calling championship women's curling and not talk about Colleen Jones' team.
That's right. That's right. We've in our 4 years, it must have been, we thought it was us who were the lucky charms for Colleen's team, but we've never televised anyone but Colleen in the Scott Tournament of Hearts. This is fun.
Yeah, hurry hard. Right up. Hurry.
Over Sash. Go, 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 go. Nice shot, Renee.
Shot.
It's good rushing.
Right to it.
Renee Simons drawing behind the center guard. On this 5th end, it is now Jenn Hanna attempting to steal.
Hard line.
It's always a difficult situation for Ontario because they don't have last rock anymore and they're still down in the game. And although they would love to steal, they have to be aware of the option of just forcing BC to take 1, 2. You don't want BC to get 2 points with last rock. You can tolerate them just getting 1 and you get the hammer back, and the hope or the theory would be that you would get 2 and tie the game again. So you'll watch Ontario, they'll take their chances to steal, but at some point they'll have to weigh whether it's they're willing to take that risk of giving up more than 1 point.
Yep. 3. Hard line. 2. Hurry. 3. Right up. Hard 2
to get past
it. Hurry. 2.
We're like 2, Cal.
Hard to get past
Right up,
it.
hurry.
Just
We gotta go for weight, too.
Okay,
Hurry.
yeah.
We're
even
not
if you
past
split
it.
a little.
We're not to it.
No.
And you hear both teams using the the time zone system that was made popular by Randy Furby's team, and that's calling out numbers for the zones of where you think the rock might come to rest.
Heavier side.
That was a 2 or a halfway guard.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, by passing the bucket here in Mile 1 Stadium in this semifinal draw, the fundraising efforts here in St. John's for the Sandra Schmirler Foundation will top $140,000.
Gotta go. You sure?
It's tremendous.
Top 8. Full 8 only. Whoa.
It's a great
Shot
shot.
done.
Very nice.
Want to take that out? Nice wait. Peel.
The late Sandra Schmirler won the 1993 Canadian Women's Championship as Team Canada. They defended their Scott title in 1994, and they won again in 1997.
Whoa, whoa. Watch the other middle yellow, guys.
So Joan McCusker has some of the Scott jewelry, which she proudly wears.
I do. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, and Scott Paper knows that. Created a wonderful legacy of necklaces and rings for the winners of the provinces and the nationals here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. You can see the necklace worn right there by Dawn Askin, that she's a first-time winner, so she just has the pendant. Every time she fights her way back through her province, a diamond will be added to that pendant.
Where? Whoa. 2, 3. Line's good, wherever it stops. Sit down. Just clean. Clean only. Sit. Clean only.
That plugs the hole.
Shot, other girl.
It's a great shot. 2 good shots from Dawn.
Nice shot. Sweet. Heel. Okay.
Sasha Carter is being asked to peel the Ontario stone that was just delivered.
It's not moving.
Will it move enough to make contact with the red, or will she catch her own yellow at the back?
Hey. Hey, Sash.
And with that missed peel, Ontario has a chance to really plug things up out front and make it very difficult for BC to get a rock in for shot stone.
Like you can.
That's 2 peel attempts that ran 2 straight for BC.
I would anticipate BC trying to peel or double peel again, depending on where this Ontario stone comes to rest, assuming that it's in the guard area.
Hard. We're over. Whoa, whoa. Clean.
Good shot.
Shot. Good. Shot.
The reason it's good, nice separation. Those stones are not very close together. The 2 red guards, about 6 feet apart, making the double that much more difficult.
Heel. Just straight there.
You're a little bit further over. Mine was right down, kind of a foot off center.
All right.
The top guard is the object for Michelle Allen, the BC third.
They are trying to run it into the center line one. A double peel is the call.
Clean. Clean.
This also needs to curl a little.
Good shot.
Nice shot, Michelle.
She'll roll that top guard out of there.
Same thing.
And the same shot, another guard asked for from Pascal Letang.
Same weight. Clean. Just clean. Wolf, it's over. Tons of room. Tons of room. Is it over? Yeah. Okay, just clean then. It's got to move a little. It's a little deeper than the other one. Whoa, whoa. Sit. It's sliding. Yeah. No.
And as you said, Mike, setting
no,
up
no, Steph, no.
the grouping of the guards for an easier double peel. So if Michelle Allen hits the top stone, the same spot as she threw her first one, both those guards will be gone, and more pressure will be on Ontario to replace the guard perfectly.
Can either of those two red stones out front do any damage to rocks in the rings?
Not the rocks in the rings. You might, if this over curls a little bit, the back guard may go towards the stone that's out front, short of the 12 foot, but no, it shouldn't be much of a factor.
Right hard. You're gonna roll it, Renee. Renee, roll. Roll it over, Renee. Great shot.
She eliminates both guards and rolls the shooter out of play as well.
Great shot.
Nice shot. Let it go.
And you know that Ontario is still going to play a guard. Just the placement is just, the line has to be so much more accurate.
Protecting the shot stone was easier for Ontario with two guards out front rather than the one that is being attempted by Jenn Hanna.
Straight guard. Line is the key, whether it's tight or halfway in isn't that critical here.
You see those two red stones Kelly Scott is talking about. If the guard is good, should we try playing a double off of those two red?
Just clean. Just clean. One. Gotta move a little. Gotta move. Yep.
Need to go for line here. Need
Hard
to curl.
line. All the way, never stop. Really gotta go. Quick. Hurry. Yep. Wait.
Didn't move enough. There's a port.
So wait, we're just on normal. The top red.
Chance here for two.
Okay.
For BC. To lie to, that is.
It's quite a bit of room.
How'd I throw that?
You want to come in through that port to make contact with that red stone. Get it out of the rings and have the yellow stone roll even in behind the staggered red-yellow combination in the top 12 foot. A great chance here for BC to get out of trouble and score a couple.
Not only get out of trouble on this end, but really take control at the midpoint of the match.
Yep.
Kelly Scott trying to negotiate a port between two Ontario stones. It looks pretty good.
Has to curl.
She gets a fortunate rub off the top Ontario stone in the 12 foot and is redirected onto the shot stone. Her shooter also rolls out.
Well, the fortunate part is that she hit enough of the shot stone to get it out of the rings. She redirects, just clips enough of that shot stone, and a heads-up sweeping by Michelle Allen. Get this rock out of the ring so that Ontario is not hitting to lie 3. Very fortunate that shot was made.
Okay, we got this.
This out-turn spot here that we have noted in past games has run very straight. Not taking a lot of ice here. Jenn Hanna, she'd love to stay.
When she can hit and roll behind the guard, force Kelly Scott to throw a draw, and in the last half of the round robin, that draw weight was elusive for Kelly.
Control.
Jenn Hanna's final stone of the 5th.
Yes! Whoa, clean. Whoa.
Trying to chip the BC stone out of there.
No roll.
She wants to save the shooter. She gets a bit of a roll behind cover in the top of the 8 foot.
It's a great shot. Couldn't have done much better on that one. And pressure draw here for British Columbia.
Well, on the last end, Jenn Hanna had to draw against 2 BC stones. On this end, Kelly Scott is forced to duplicate the shot, drawing against 2 Ontario rocks. And if successful, she would take a 2-point lead into the 5th end break.
The inside one? Yes.
Both, even the outside one?
Yes, I like this ice.
Okay.
I thought she was going to get through the port with her last stone. It just didn't curl quite enough.
said half an inch gets by that guard, you would have had a chance for 2 or 3 in this end, and
They're sliding a bit.
Pretty straight.
because she didn't,
Straight, still on the
this
red.
is a tough shot.
Still on the red. Line will be
Line's
fine.
good. Tail swing go.
Looks like lots.
Clean. Can you clean? Close line.
The line is good.
Clean.
And the weight looks pretty good as well.
Great shot. Nice shot, Kelly.
Final stone at the end, and Kelly Scott duplicates the performance in the previous end of Jenn Hanna. Comes back with one of her own for a 2-point lead through 5.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 24 years.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts is coming to London's John Labatt Centre next February, and full event passes are on sale now. For the best seats in the house, you can call toll-free or order online. Come join us in the Forest City.
For centuries, the Strauss family harvested herbs throughout Europe. Practicing herbalists, they've been handing their recipes and processes down through the generations. 7th generation herbalist Jim Strauss learned the craft at his grandmother's side, gathering and tasting herbs from the time he could walk. Strauss Herb Company, celebrating their 25th anniversary with 25% off 50 and 100 milliliter bottles of the original Strauss Heart Drops. On sale now at participating health food retailers.
The brass want to send you to Kabul.
Going to the Caribbean.
I asked for leads. Am I right? Did I ask for leads?
Yeah.
Tonight's feature, Cabinet Minister kickbacks or American Idols. Where are they now?
American Idols.
I guess 1 blank for yes, 2 for no, so maybe you should frame the question with a yes or no answer.
Shrinks don't give yes or no answers, okay? I mean, this might sound a little odd, but just very quickly, am I paying for this visit? There it is, yes. He blinked. He did blink, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's a shrink for you.
Welcome back to St. John's, Newfoundland, Mile 1 Stadium. After 5 ends of play, the semifinal of the Scott Tournament of Hearts. Jenn Hanna trails Kelly Scott of British Columbia 5-3. Well, we're going to switch ice surfaces for one moment in time now, from the curling rink to the Olympic Oval in Calgary, speed skating. And you talk about long distances in speed skating. Most big distances for the women, 5,000 meters, for the men, 10,000 meters. But how about a marathon? Well, Katrina LeMay-Doan was a sprinter, 500 meters. Today, she goes the distance at the Oval and goes Trans-Canada.
Thanks, Scott. They're calling it Holland Day here at the Olympic Oval for the first ever ING World Championship Marathon. So many Dutch skaters, over 60 of them. We have 2 Canadians skating. They're coming out onto the Oval on the 400-meter track, and they're skating 100 laps for the World Championship title. At just 13 laps into this 100-lap race, 8 of the skaters broke away from the main pack. They've set a very fast pace, under 30 seconds per lap, but they're skating on artificial ice, and they're often used to the natural ice and outdoors, so it's going to be a very fast time for this marathon. With the race just about half over, some of the skaters are suffering from the altitude here in Calgary. They're used to skating at sea level, but the dry air is affecting their breathing, and a lot of the top skaters are pulling out of the race. Over 60 skaters battled the lactic acid. They fought the dry air and the altitude. They skated 40 kilometers. Back in my day, my longest race was 1 kilometer, so this 100-lap race was about 98 laps too long for myself. But in the end, Miel Rosendahl from Holland became the first ever ING world champion in the sport of marathon speed skating.
It's nice to be world champion, but it's a big word, you know, because a lot of Dutch people are here. So world champion is a big word, but it's nice to be the first.
In just a few days, these skaters will head an hour and a half north to Sylvan Lake, where Evert van Bentham, a legend in Dutch speed skating, will host a 200-kilometer race on Sylvan Lake on natural ice. From the Olympic Oval in Calgary, I'm Katrina LeMay-Doan. Now back to Scott Russell with Sports Saturday.
Thanks very much, Katrina. Wow, can you imagine that? An ice marathon and outside. I'll never forget last year, Evert van Bentham's race at Sylvan Lake. It was cold, but it was clear, and it was beautiful to see those skaters out there on the blades. Well, coming up here from Mile 1 Stadium in St. John's a little bit later, calling all Canadians, and our guest will be the skip from Manitoba, who is on her way to the final here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. That's 30-year-old Jenn Jones of Winnipeg. She's a lawyer. She'll take your questions at callingallcanadians@cbc.ca. Also, there's a toll-free number if you want to get in touch with the skip. Right now, after 5 ends of play, it's 5-3 for British Columbia over Ontario in the semifinal. The Scott Tournament of Hearts will continue on Sports Saturday in just a moment.
Hey, so what do you want to do for lunch? Thinking soup or sandwich? Sandwich, that's good.
No. That's not enough. You boys must have proper lunch. Hearty soup and sandwich together. That's proper lunch, okay?
It's the complete lunch that satisfies.
So, soup and sandwich at Tim's? Sounds good.
Tim Hortons ham and Swiss sandwich on a toasted bun and our new creamy field mushroom soup. Enjoy them in a combo today.
The roar you hear is 20 of Canada's top women's and men's teams competing for the right to represent us in Italy in 2006. And no city in Canada roars more than Halifax.
The new Ford 500. We thought about space safety architecture to give you more protection. We thought about command seating to give you a better view of the road. We thought about all-wheel drive for more control. We thought about all these things so you'll have less to think about. The new Ford 500. We keep thinking about what a sedan should be because we want you to drive a Ford.
As official supplier to Curling's Season of Champions, True Value Hardware presents quality products for your house. True Value paint, made by us and made to last. We own the factory. We test and retest our paint. We guarantee it every can at every store. True Value, around the corner from your house.
The head-to-head battle in the final of the Ford Hot Shots competition featured two skips, Jenn Hanna of Ontario and Kay Zink of Nova Scotia. These are the 6 skill testing shots the two will attempt to execute. When Kay Zink failed to pick up the maximum 5 points with a double takeout attempt, Jenn Hanna was able to capitalize. Hanna demonstrated her curling skills by drawing the port to catch a piece of the forefoot. And the rookie skip from Ontario wound up the victor. 18 points for Hanna, 15 for Kay Zink. Hanna receives a 2-year lease on the 2005 Ford Freestyle SEL presented by Ford of Canada. Zink won $3,000, Allison Farrell $1,500.
Welcome back to Mile 1 Stadium. 5-3 for BC over Ontario after 5 ends of play. Here's the woman who got the keys to the car, but she's looking for that Scott Tournament of Hearts trophy. Jenn Hanna, tell us about the match after 5.
It's been, a tale of one end, really. That big 3 in the third end for BC really hurt us a little bit. But, we held them to 1 this end, and we're going to go get 2 to tie the game.
Is this a situation now where you tend to become aggressive, or do you want to become aggressive?
Yes. It's not, though, I was going to say balls out aggressive, but it's not to that point yet. We'll go take a safe 2, and it's really easy to steal with the 4 rock rules. So we're not worried, not in the least.
Jenn, thanks very much and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Jenn, Hanna, back to Don, Mike, and Joan.
Well, we haven't seen many misses from Jenn Hanna in her run to this semifinal game, but it was a costly miss by Jenn Hanna on the third end of this game that may prove to be the turning point.
Well, the ironic part is this is the same draw that she forced Stephanie Lawton to make against the game against Saskatchewan last night, and Stephanie missed this draw, gave up a steal of 4, and this draw not curling enough, gave BC the opportunity for a soft little draw for 3 points and to take control of this game.
And Kelly Scott with the final stone at the end made no mistake.
No, and Kelly's had good control of her drawaway, which was a little bit elusive middle of the round robin, and but Jenn Hanna is going to have to get very aggressive now at the second half of this game. There's certainly no fear. We've seen none of that all week, and I anticipate a lot of rocks in play as we go into 6.
Well, the BC team is curling well. They've had some ups and downs during the competition, but they've never lost 2 in a row.
No, and I think Ontario has to be doing a little bit of a happy dance that BC only got 1 in the 5th end. It's a 2-point game with last rock. Ontario could tie it very easily, and it's game on for the last 4.
5-3, BC leads heading into the final 5 ends of this semifinal game. The winner to face Jennifer Jones of Manitoba tomorrow in the Scott final.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Purex Bathroom Tissue. Pillowy softness you can see and feel.
Purex Ultra, our thickest, softest Purex ever.
Hurry! 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 Come on! Hurry hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry!
It's bred for European tastes, but built for North American desires. With a seductive, ergonomic design, provocative performance, responsive power, sexy, low-profile wheels, eye-popping curb appeal, and superb handling in tight corners. Not to mention driveways, decks, and even those silly motor cars. The Karcher high-pressure washer. You really have no options.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Tim Hortons, toasted ham and Swiss and soup combo. And by the original Strauss Heart Drops. Trust the tradition.
Nice crowds throughout the Scott Tournament of Hearts here at Mile 1 Stadium in Newfoundland. After 5 ends of play in the semifinal, it is 5-3 for Kelly Scott of BC over Jenn Hanna of Ontario. No, the Scott was not named after Kelly Scott. You know, you always want to make best on second chances. You had a chance against Jenn Jones last night. How about this one?
Yeah, last night I'd like to have a few shots back, and we want to make sure we take advantage of every opportunity we're given in this game today.
You know that you're playing against a hot shooter in Jenn Hanna. Does that affect the style of game you play at all, Kelly?
Well, I think you can get in trouble if you leave a lot of hangers in the rings. So we're pretty cautious of that because Jenn has come up with some big shots throughout the week.
Say a word about your team. I mean, they've been around you for a little while now, and this is a critical time for them. Do you have confidence in them?
I have all the confidence in the girls in front of me, and it's been a long road to get here, and we're thrilled with where we're at the moment, and we'll just go as far as we possibly can.
Go get him, Kelly.
Thank you.
There's Kelly Scott, has a 5-3 lead after 5. Let's go back up to the booth and go curling with Dawn, Joan, and Mike.
Yes, 5 ends remaining in this semifinal. Raylene and Marcel Rock watching the action. Raylene playing lead stones for Kathy King, and of course Marcel will be involved in the Briar with Randy Furby. And Mike Lawton expected to be cheering this afternoon or tomorrow for his wife Stephanie Lawton, but she was eliminated last night in the 3 versus 4 page playoff game by Jenn Hanna of Ontario. So as a result, the two of them are in the stands, spectators in this good crowd at Mile One Stadium this afternoon for the semifinal at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. Spectators having a lot of fun during the break, and now we get set for 6th end action as play resumes in the semifinal. We talked about the round robin game between these two earlier and the ability of Ontario to steal. They'll be required to do some stealing in this game as well, trailing by 2 with 5 ends remaining.
Well, it's not an insurmountable lead. It's only 2 points, and I think it was Jenn Hanna herself that said you can get 2 points with the free guard zone, and you can steal with the free guard zone. It's a matter of focusing and making the most of the opportunities that are given to you. And there's one right there with the lead stone slipping behind the tee line. That only works to Ontario's benefit later in the end.
Well, you know, when you look back at Ontario's record, where they lost 4 of their first 5 games, Jenn Hanna, the skip, was curling 71% through those games. Then when they got on the roll, she was at 89% and was consistent. And then in this game, the semifinal, she's at 78%.
And we showed the one big miss that she had in the 3rd end. That was an opportunity to take the end away from British Columbia, and not really a tough shot either, and certainly uncharacteristic. But you know, when you're coming into a semifinal situation, you know you're playing well, your team's playing well, you will get chances, and so it's important that they're able to take advantage of those opportunities when they do arise. We saw a missed opportunity last end from British Columbia to get out of trouble. Instead, they were forced to draw for a single point.
Not in the way. Sweep in.
BC wanted that rock into the rings, forcing Ontario to have to deal with it and bump it around.
Top four, 5, 6. Got room.
Oh, I think it's
7.
got a lot.
Steep. 7. No.
Little too much weight from Steph Hanna.
Okay, Steph.
It stops in the 4-foot, but behind the tee line.
It's through. Just back line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kelly Scott under BC champions endeavoring to steal here on the 6th.
Out here and then go. Okay.
And they were the best team at stealing points during the week. They were successful in stealing 20 points from their opponents.
Hard line. Hard.
Looked like a soft release. We talk about soft release, and that is as Sasha was extending, she's not extending towards the broom, but actually towards the target. So it starts to curl right away.
Right out. Go out.
And that's the miss that Ontario needs to try and get to here on end 6 and get back on even terms.
You see Jenn Hanna going wide around the corner guard here. Asking Dawn Askin for a draw.
And we talked about that right off the top of the show, about we felt that there was more curl coming wide outside in than from the center line out.
This is heavy. Needs to sit down.
through, eh? Jesus.
It's going to slide through.
Sorry, Don. Sorry, our call. Nice throw.
I'm not sure why it was their call. Perhaps they talked about in the hack, telling Don to throw a little bit more weight out there. Still will be opportunity here for Ontario. There's still going to be a corner guard and a rock behind the tee line. Stuff to work with.
It's like lots.
9.
But BC has a chance here to get out of some
Tons of
potential
weight.
serious trouble as Sasha Carter is able to remove the Ontario stone.
One good shot. If you're trying to get 2 points and you have hammer, you need one really good shot to set up the deuce. And because there is a corner guard still in play, Don Askin can make good on that draw, on this draw, and set up that multiple score.
A second chance to follow exactly the same path.
Are we heavy? No. Whoa, whoa. Yep. 6. Yes.
Looking for the little rub off of the yellow stone on the left-hand side.
Hurry.
They get a little rub, but it is going to slide too far. It will be third shot.
That is a sweeping error. As much as it is overthrown by Don, the sweepers yelled down that that was 6. Had they yelled down that that was 10, Jenn Hanna could have called the in off of the right-hand stone.
3, 4, 14 here. Yep.
And that's the type of communication that is so essential to success.
The ability to make a decision on plan B.
Gotta go. Line's good.
No,
weight's good. Lot of
Yeah,
room.
looks like quite a bit.
Clean.
Top 12.
Top 8.
Okay,
Clean.
higher the better.
6.
Just
coming
top
down.
12.
Yep. It's coming down. Right
Whoa,
over.
Whoa, whoa. Nice rock, Michelle.
Great shot, Michelle.
Well, at this level, you can ill afford squandered opportunities to score more than 1 point. And Ontario may have done that on this end.
They still have a guard. I'm going to say it again. Another, a more difficult shot, which is a precise hit and roll, could still set up the 2 points.
Close. Yep. Yes, quick. Hurry. Done. Hurry.
The hit and the roll.
Great shot.
Actually overrolled just a little bit, so it is half exposed on the outside. Still a very good shot.
Quarter.
You can see the lineup on the jam
You
on
can
the back.
double them too.
The back stone.
This is a dangerous shot here for British Columbia.
So you can see if they get by this guard and come in here, there may be a jam over here, which would leave a red stone back in the back 4
Guys
foot.
want to go for that?
And it would bring a 3 back into play because of that stone at the back 12.
I'm just a little worried about that too, though.
Yeah, they come around. This isn't bad either. Yeah. It's hard for her to top
Yeah.
that up. That's better. Late there.
Top ring, top 4 at most.
Okay, same weight, okay? Yeah, same weight. It's a little bit more in the 4 foot. So, all right.
Ignoring the second shot stone. Michelle Allen with her final stone of this 6th end.
A little more.
Close.
7.
Whoa.
8.
Whoa.
8, 9. Lots.
Close.
9.
We'll try to get your way a little, Renee.
Okay, sorry guys.
BC still lies 2.
Tap it back, sit in front. Back 8, back 12, wait. Okay, we got this.
Great chance here for Ontario. Set up for at least 2. Playing that nice, quiet, controllable weight.
Back
Just to
line.
tap it back,
Yep.
back 12 foot.
Active.
Yep.
And Pascal Laton's hit and roll set up
Good job, Steph. Good
this
job,
possibility
guys.
of scoring more than one.
Good call, Jen.
I was thinking just like hackish, but I'll go and see what
Again,
it looks
another
like.
communication of letting her know it was hack weight enough to actually move 2 stones over.
And look at those 3 stones at the back of the 12-foot. Very difficult to negotiate this red stone out of the rings for British Columbia.
Get the inside?
Yeah, from down here it looks like you can. Kind of weight do you want to throw?
Thinking like hackish?
Okay.
Think that'll hold? Maybe a little more ice?
You're okay even if you just nose it, right? Like nose.
You can see they're looking for a little inside flop from BC. Get out of trouble. The perfect stone here by BC.
Tough shot.
9.5.
Clean it.
Close.
Close.
She's got lots of weight if they want the move, the late movement.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Not going to get the inside roll here, doesn't appear.
Roll it, Sash.
A jam at the back, and second and third now belong to Ontario.
More like bumper. Sorry.
Great opportunity here for Ontario. A good hit and roll here could result in an opportunity for 3 or even 4.
I almost think I have to play it across the face.
Well,
Nice thing is they just threw this shot across the
You
face.
think I have to take the out turn?
well, you gave me the out turn.
It was a little further.
Okay.
Your rock was over here.
Okay. Either or.
Okay.
Just control?
I'll look at it from the
Okay,
other end.
look at it. Where would the broom for the intern be?
Like edge of the rock or just inside the edge of the rock?
Okay. Kind of weight? Control.
Yeah. Just make sure we stick around, that's all. No jam on the reds.
Yeah.
Looking for a hit and roll into this area. They'd be sitting 3
Where do you
buried.
want it to roll?
Even if they nose hit this one, because their stone's frozen at the back, I still think they'd lie 3.
Far red?
Yeah, under the red.
Kelly Scott would be forced to try some sort of double on that outside stone.
Yeah, let's make this. We got this.
And the difference between the results so far between Ontario and BC is the amount of weight. BC throws a lot heavier than Ontario, and Ontario's been able to control the hit and roll better than BC in this end.
And it was the hit and roll by Pascal Laton that set up the possibility of Ontario getting a deuce or more.
Just clean. Yep.
That chance appeared to be in danger of evaporating after the second stones were played.
Yep.
This is close.
Yes!
Need to go for the roll.
Really hard.
He gets the roll to lie 3.
That is a great shot.
That is as good as she could have done there.
BC will be looking on the outside,
Good sweep.
seeing if a shot is available to make a double.
Good job. A little further would have been better.
That's okay.
Right down and sit right on it.
Great shot by Jenn Hanna.
A pressure shot now for Kelly Scott, as she could see her 2-point lead evaporate.
This is very similar to the type of shot that Jenn Hanna threw to take away the end from British Columbia. If Kelly Scott can make just a decent freeze in there, even if she doesn't get shot stone, get second shot stone, cut out the more than 2 points here. If she happens to be a little heavy, rolls off, we may see a shot for 4 here from Ontario.
Clean line. 7.
Yep. Room.
Clean.
Room anywhere higher.
Close.
Anywhere
Yep.
higher.
Where is it?
Line's curling. No bounce.
Big bounce.
Whoa.
Big bounce.
Whoa.
9.
Line's getting better.
Whoa.
No
9.
bounce. No bounce.
Bouncing.
She's going to bounce into the open,
Yes, Michelle.
and there is a chance for 4.
It looks like she could squeeze that rock out and count 4.
Okay.
It's a tricky shot though for 4. It's an easy shot for 3 if they elect to play
Even
it.
if I hit here, Pascal, and double,
It's for 3. We just can't jam. Okay. Jam is 2.
Or 1. If she jams, she might only get 1. No, sorry, she would
Same
just...
weight? Control.
Well, she's looking at coming down, and she can just pick this rock out. Her shooter would roll right against this stone, and she would still count 3. 1, 2, 3. That's the tolerant level. What she
Okay, 2 thin's better than 2 thick.
talking about was jamming straight back on that yellow stone, and then only being able to get 2.
To get 4, she needs to throw this very quietly to have her shooter not
think
kick her
nose
other
is
stone
easier?
out of the rings.
What about a nose hit to drive it between the 2 stones at the back?
I think that's a more difficult shot.
Maybe, yeah.
It's more
Okay,
risky
play
for
that.
sure.
Nose? Yeah. Same ice?
You might only get 2
yeah.
playing this shot.
Let's go, Jen. Okay, let's go.
There's 2 stones to jam on at the back there. This is. I said, if she just wanted to get 3, she could pick it out very easily. This is the shot for 4. She's really being aggressive, going for the 4-ender. Dangerous.
Forward. Clean. Yep. Forward.
Final stone by Jenn Hanna here on the 6th end. She trails by 2, has the possibility of scoring 4 with this final stone.
Yes!
Trying to push it through. She is going to jam it, and she will only get 2, it would appear.
It's close.
Risk versus reward. That was a decision made from the hack. I'm wondering whether
3?
Jenn Hanna should have come down.
Pascal thinks it's 3.
Okay, so measure? Yeah, so 2 for sure. 2 for sure?
Tried to talk her into it.
I'm wondering if that was wishful thinking.
Can we get a
We'll
measure?
soon find out.
The Ontario stone at the top of the 8. The BC stone at the back of the 8 to be measured to determine whether it's a score
Yeah, but it was a good chance.
of 2 or 3. 2 for sure for Ontario to tie it.
Shouldn't have changed our mind.
Well, you know, you talk about risk versus reward. We talked about it off of the top of the show. When you take those chances, sometimes you get burnt. And Jenn Hanna took a chance yesterday. It put away the game when she made the double against Sandy Como in her second tiebreaker. But I think she should have took the easier shot for 3. Now, I know it's easier said than done, but in this game, getting 3 right now in the 6th end would be huge in taking control.
Changing your mind in the hack can sometimes be a mistake.
2.
It's only 2. But it is a tie game with 4 ends remaining, and Kelly Scott breathes a bit of a sigh of relief. She'll have hammer going into 7.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Now featuring free high-speed internet access at most hotels. Visit bestwestern.com for locations.
So, Randy, what do you think of my curling game?
Well, Jim, it looks to me like your game needs a little bit of help. But your family of Strauss products are right on the button, like Strauss Heart Drops, available at a health product retailer near you.
Curling. With every game played, your contact to the world expands. With over 1 million participants utilizing 1,100 clubs across the country, curling is an entertaining, social way to stay active. Play for fun, play to win, or just come out and enjoy the membership benefits. Clubs can be assisted by the Canadian Curling Association's Development Fund, which serves to promote, renovate, and offer advice on operations. Get involved. Join a club near you today. It has lifetime value.
Thunder, 120 decibels. Highway traffic, 70 decibels. Highway traffic inside a luxury sedan, 64 decibels. Inside the Ford F-150, 63. We keep thinking about tough because we want you to drive a Ford.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts is coming to London's John Labatt Centre next February, and full event passes are on sale now. For the best seats in the house, you can call toll-free or order online. Come join us in the Forest City.
Dr. Carolyn Dean, in her new book, Death by Modern Medicine, says that the key to good health is being an informed owner of your own body and making informed healthcare choices. Strauss Herb Company, 25 years in Canada. Trust the tradition.
You know what? We got a barn burner going, 5-5 Ontario and BC after 6 ends of play. Curling's got such great fans, and they love the Scott Tournament of Hearts. They certainly do here at Malwan Stadium in Newfoundland. Here is Peter Inch. He's the chairman of the organizing committee for the 2006 Brier in the Forest City of London, Ontario. Can you match what's been a great Scott?
I think so. I think we can match it and maybe take it up a notch.
One of the things that's going to be key, Peter, is your arena, the John Labatt Centre. Why is it such a gem in the Scott next year?
I mean, it has all the amenities of a new arena, but it has 9,000 seats, which we think we can fill and then really make this a lively place to curl.
What about curling fans in London? I think about the Highland Club there. I mean, kind of a real tradition, doesn't it, in that city?
It does. We have great fans. We think we're going to have to turn away volunteers. We're going to have so many. And we've been starving for a major championship, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I know you wanted the Olympic trials at one point in time, and you got the convention center there where you're going to have the Heart Stop. Going to be great. All the best of luck to you and the people of London in 2006.
Thank you very much.
There's Peter Inch of the London Organizing Committee next year. Don?
Yes, that should be a great time in London, and they are very confident that they can attract huge crowds to watch the Scott Tournament of Hearts 2006.
What would go a long way would be Jenn Hanna winning this game, winning tomorrow, becoming Team Canada, and 2 teams from Ontario being at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. You can tell that Peter and his London organizing committee have their fingers crossed this game.
I don't think BC and Manitoba share that enthusiasm.
Probably not, but it's been done before where the host site has 2 teams in the event, and it goes a long way to fill in the building. If curling fans had been watching all week, they'd be buying tickets to that Scott Tournament of Hearts, because the level of play of women's curling has been fantastic here, and I'm sure will be again next year.
Well, in 1998,
Right over.
as the Olympic champions,
Nice throw.
you returned to Regina for the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
And the Saskatchewan team was also from Regina, and we set an attendance record at that Agrodome.
Whoa!
And next year is another Olympic year. The Olympics
Clean.
begin on the 9th of February in Turin, Italy. Pinerolo is actually the site for the curling competition. And Pinerolo is where the World Junior competition takes place March 3rd to the 13th. Kyle George of Saskatchewan and Andrea Kelly of New Brunswick, the Canadian representatives. Not much to choose between the 2 leads, both playing very well.
Just not sure how you get that stat. Playing 98% and 100, and the overall is 93. How does that work? Not that smart to figure that one out.
Control. Little less. Bumper.
Well, Ontario needs to work hard on celebrating getting that deuce in the last end. What a tremendous opportunity they had to get more than 2.
Good shot.
Worked out that they got enough to tie the game, and they need to continue to put that pressure on BC.
I believe I said Feb 9 as the start of the Olympics. The opening ceremonies on the 10th of February. I stand corrected, in Turin, Italy.
Clean. 9-5. Clean only. Close. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Just missed the sweep on that hit and roll. Very close to making it perfect.
Sasha Carter has played but one draw through the first 6 ends of the competition.
Okay, we got this. Let's go. Forward. Bumper. Clean. Forward. Yep. Slow. Close. It's more than board. Little up. Step hard. Hard. Step.
Great
Nice
shot. Nicely done.
Atta girl. Great shot. Good job, Don.
Try this.
Atta girl. Good shot.
We'll get just peel for now.
Okay.
Well, sometimes on an end you can abandon a plan for multiple points too early. I suggested after the misses by Don Askin on the previous end that maybe their plans to get a deuce or more had gone out the window. And Joan, you correctly pointed out there was still a corner guard, and with the hit and roll by Pascal Latan, that set up the deuce, and it could have been 4 for Ontario.
Well, the main difference here in this end, Don, is that Ontario left BC Stones in the rings, and with a 2-point deficit, it was necessary. Kelly Scott has control of the game, meaning she has the hammer even though it's tied. She will not ignore Ontario Stones in the rings, and it's not her style either. She'll play it a little bit more conservatively, wait for a hit and roll out from Ontario, and then make a move.
Well, that great hit and roll from Don Askin has given Ontario a good chance to force the issue, even a steal here in the 7th end. Perfect guard.
Latan with the advantage over Michelle Allen.
Yep. Whoa, 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 run back.
Will she get fortunate and get them both? Yes, she does.
That was not the call. I think they were playing a peel and waiting to play the run back as the end progressed. So got lucky.
Okay, lucky again.
How's that saying go?
Let's go.
Gotta be good to be lucky. Gotta be lucky to be good.
I think that applies in almost every sport.
Definitely.
Room. 6. Room. Whoa, Steph. A lot of room.
Well, you noted time and time again on this ice, hard to get across the center line here to get a stone to bury.
Already, it's whoa, 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 whoa. Make sure, back 4. Yep, yes, yes, yes.
Trying to get a piece of it under that guard so there's no hit and roll available to BC.
I tried. Bumper.
It's worth mentioning the difference in how much the rocks curl here at the Scott Tournament of Arts versus the Briar next week when we start the Tim Hortons Briar from Edmonton. And you'll see a lot more movement on the rocks. They do not use the same set of rocks. These rocks have been used at the Scott Tournament of Arts for the last 4 or 5 years. And we've seen consistently that they move a couple of feet. The rocks that are used at the Briar are the Manitoba Curling Association rocks, and they're much curlier. They're more aggressive, and we'll see a lot more movement with those stones on the draws when we get to Edmonton.
Yes, hurry, hurry, hurry.
I'm trying to figure out your expression there, Joan. Rocks that are more curlier?
They're more curlier.
There's a miss.
It's been a long week.
It's a big miss there from
Yes, it is.
BC.
More movement.
More movement that are curlier. How about?
Sorry, Michelle.
Done.
Sorry.
Just a touch. Enough to redirect it past the Ontario stone sitting in the back of the 4.
It's a big problem for British Columbia. That stone is so close to the button. At a decent guard here from Hanna, I think that Kelly Scott will have to play some sort of double peel and hope for a miss like she got in the 5th end. a missed guard.
Or a run back on her own yellow guard straight back.
Ontario has only won this Scott title on 4 occasions. There was actually another Scott title that remained in the province of Ontario, but that was won by Heather Houston when she was Team Canada. She won it in 1989 and then repeated the following year. BC has won this championship 8 times. Kelly Law was the last in the year 2000, and of course Kelly Law was also Canada's representative at the Olympics in Salt Lake City.
No.
This needs to curl just a little bit to close down that port.
Slight edge for Jenn Hanna over Kelly Scott at the skip position through 6.
Yeah, both skips have missed a couple of opportunities to score and to force their opponents into poorer opportunities.
Try to run it through.
It's an interesting call here that she's going to try to run the red back. Jenn Hanna's red guard.
I wonder if Jenn Hanna is still thinking about the last end when she had a chance for 3 and maybe even 4 with a little different shot. Or she could have made the shot she attempted and got 4 that way, but partway down the ice she was indicating that maybe she should have played the other shot. Kelly Scott now trying the run back. The top Ontario stone onto the shot rock. Just slides it by.
Very close. Well, I think, Dawn, to be a good skip, you need to have a short memory, and Jenn Hanna needs to focus, and she's been good at that all week. She's takes a lot of risks.
A few close calls.
Some of them have paid off, some of them haven't, but she seems very good at bouncing back and continuing to focus on the shot at hand. There's a good indication if curling 98%, usually you win a lot of games. That's hard to beat someone curling that well. This is a great chance now for Jenn Hanna. Another guard. You're going to see BC run their own stone back next time. They don't really have a draw opportunity if Jenn Hanna can drop this short of the rings, guarding their stone.
Line's real good.
It's a question of which raise they're going to prefer.
Whoa, that's good.
Generally speaking, curlers will go for either the raise on the stone that's closer to the rings or the raise on the straighter angle. I think Kelly's trying to outdraw this rock now.
Is she attempting to come through the port with a draw to the button?
I want to clip the red at all, eh?
No, that's just...
This is a tough shot.
Well, that's what she's saying. If she over curls and clips that top, the tight red guard, she gives up a steal at 2.
Do you guys like the draw?
I do. It's either that or running back the red.
She's trying to draw in here for her shot stone. She has to be very careful not to bump this stone
running back
if she over curls.
If you want, or the draw is good too.
The good news is if she does get through the port, the line will be excellent towards the button, but it's a tough shot.
Yep. This looks like good ice.
Very little margin for error for Kelly Scott with this final stone of the 7th end. She could give up a steal here unless she can navigate this port.
9. Still on the outside.
She took the extra line because she's worried about that center line guard. Now it's a question of whether she can get through the port.
It's got to curl.
It's starting to move. Will it turn enough? She's through the hole.
No backing, no backing, no backing.
What a great shot by Kelly Scott with the final stone of the end. Coming down on top of the Ontario rock at the back of the button. She had to be ever so precise to get through this hole, and she was right on target to lead by 1 with 3 ends remaining.
When we set out to replace cottonelle with an even better cottonelle, we asked women, what could be softer than cotton?
Flannel. Silk.
cashmere.
Oh my. Introducing new cashmere from Cottonelle, now quilted to be irresistibly soft.
We really love working the dogs together. It's fun to watch the young pups as they come up in the family. And it's great to be part of the True Value family. Our customers know they can count on us for good sense, good service, and doggone good value.
True Value, official hardware supplier to Championship Curling.
Back pain. It can affect more than your back. Robax Platinum, a special combination of 2 active ingredients. One to relieve back pain, the other to relax tense back muscles. Robax Platinum, helping you walk away from back pain.
Hurry! 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 Come on, hurry hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry!
This is Wonderland, Tuesday at 9 on CBC. Canada's new online magazine for arts, media, and entertainment. The latest trends and ideas shaping music, film, television, books, and more. Bringing you face-to-face with the people and issues shaping culture today. cbc.ca/arts.
Tomorrow, Olympic countdown. Speed skater Cindy Clausen feels the pressure. And curling, Canada's most valuable export. I'm Robin Brown, host of The Inside Track. Join me Sunday on CBC Radio 1.
We're back at mile 1, 6-5 BC over Ontario. After 7, the semi-final of the Scott. Kathy Cunningham of the St. John's Curling Club wishes with all her heart that she was on the ice. How much does it hurt not to be here competing?
Oh, it was tough. The first couple of days here were really rough on the girls and I. We were lucky enough to be in the banner raising ceremony at the opening ceremonies here, and it just about killed us. It just about killed us.
What do you think about St. John's curling fans, though, when you see the arena full like this and the ovation that they gave to an enemy skip in Colleen Jones when she was knocked off here the other day?
She's not an enemy. I think it's great. You know, people from Newfoundland are generally nice, fun-loving people, and I think that it was great what they did for Colleen the other day. You know, she deserves that. She's been around for a while, and it's, you know, it's just great. The support here has been wonderful all week.
Quick word, Kathy, do you like the level of the young curlers out here? Jenn, Hanna, Kelly Scott, people like them?
I do for the future of the sport. I don't for myself, but you know, for the future, absolutely. I think it's great, and I hope it continues.
Thanks a lot, Kathy.
You're welcome.
There you go, Kathy Cunningham of Newfoundland. Don?
2 years ago, Kathy Cunningham at 6-5 lost on an extra end to Colleen Jones, and yes, that was a nice tribute to Colleen Jones when she walked off the ice following her tiebreaker loss to Sandy Como of New Brunswick. What was particularly moving about the moment is that the two other teams that were involved in tiebreakers, Kathy King and Jenn Hanna, stopped their game to applaud Colleen Jones as she walked off the ice, with the spectators here at Mile 1 Stadium standing to applaud the 6-time Canadian women's champion.
A little bump's good.
Kathy King, the 1998 champion. She won the last time she made the long trip east to compete in the Scott. That was 1999.
7. He's close.
Pardon me, she was runner-up that year in 1999 to Colleen Jones.
Room. Whoa.
The winner in 1998.
Yep. Bump to 7. Yep. Hard.
Great shot.
Well, critical eighth end here. Team Ontario with the hammer. Would love to replicate that deuce they scored in the sixth end and take 1 point lead into 9.
Close
Yes,
for
for
line.
Leach, I think.
Got room. Yep.
Line's real good.
4. Yep. Hard.
They have to be careful this stone doesn't over curl.
5. Hard. Never leave it. Hard. Hard. Quick. Quick. Hard. Right to it. Right to
Bye.
it. Keep it going. Come on. Go, 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 go.
Great shot.
Good sweep, guys.
Very
Nice
nice.
shot, Sash. Shot, Sash.
Top 8, top 12, top 8.
Right to it, no?
Yeah, like you can.
And definitely do not want to come heavy here and spill off that stone at the top of the 4-foot. Top 12 is fine. Very difficult right now for British Columbia to do anything with that stone on the button, that shot stone.
But the shot by Sasha Carter has shrunk the rings considerably for Ontario, making it more difficult for them to get more than one.
Yep. Whoa. Line only. No bounce.
Little.
Nice looking shot here too.
It's beginning to dig in, and just a little tap on the
Okay.
BC stone. Ontario has shot rock on the button.
Not a bad shot though. Those angles are pretty good right now for Ontario. There is a guard.
Garter, you don't like the freeze onto the red, eh? Little risky?
Only if we over curl it, but it doesn't really give us anything.
Yeah.
Just go halfway.
2.5 or so?
I like the call. I like the call of the guard. I think Kelly Scott is right. It doesn't really give you a whole bunch to work with by getting the corner freeze over curled. BC's thought is it's okay if Ontario only gets one. Then they still have control of this game tied up with 2 ends remaining.
Yeah, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Clean
It's
only.
coming nice.
Clean only. Whoa line.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Nice shot. Atta girl.
Shot, Sash. Shot. Yeah. Would have been nicer. Normal. Nice ones.
We've talked about the Scott final tomorrow. Jennifer Jones and Team Manitoba against the winner of this game, Ontario and BC. And the 2005 Scott champion will go on to represent Canada at the Women's World Championship in Paisley, Scotland.
Read up, read up. Nice shot.
That's a great shot. Double peel, opening things up, perhaps giving yourself an opportunity to get more than one.
Nice shot, Don. Thanks. Atta girl. Sweet.
And while Canada will declare its rep for the Women's World
9.5.
March 19th to the 27th in Paisley, Scotland tomorrow, with the final here at the Scott. Today, the United States crowned its women's champion. And the team will be the Cassie Johnson rink of Bemidji, Minnesota. Defeating the Debbie McCormick rink 5-4. McCormick was the 2003 world champion. She beat Colleen Jones in Winnipeg.
Nice shot.
Great shot. Just what clipped that red one.
That stone, that's right. That stone that she removed almost clipped the red one sitting on the button.
It's a difficult situation right now for Ontario. There's 3 yellow stones have got
Pin roll here.
their lone stone on the button
Control.
surrounded.
Control, she said? Yeah.
Very important to hit and stay here for Pascal Letang. She needs, and she'd love to get the roll behind that long corner guard.
Control. Yep. Yep.
With last rock, obviously,
Hard.
Jenn Hanna and her Ontario team are attempting to score more than one.
Hard step. Whoa. Quick. Whoa.
Great shot. She's buried behind that corner.
Good girl.
And even though BC has 2 on the button.
Oz FM.
Same kind of weight, Michelle. Just 9.5, maybe a little less.
Maybe a little less?
Yeah, that was probably closer to a 9.
Okay.
Michelle. That's okay.
Sorry.
Little tap.
That's okay.
Tap and a foot. Not even.
What do you like?
Just a little tap. Do you like the flop? Steph?
If we freeze on it, what's she gonna do? Is she not gonna go right on top?
How do we get it out then?
Yeah, that's why we have to tap it a little, make some separation, I guess.
Okay, what kind of weight, sorry? Just a little tap. Okay, back 4.
Eight.
Maybe 9. Yep.
12. Whoa, clean. 10.
Yep.
It's through.
Through?
Yep.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Keep it over there. Okay.
Shot.
Really quick down that path.
Sorry?
Really quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jen. It's okay.
Too
Too much. As soon as they sweep it, then it just glides there.
Little less.
They call it good on my hand.
Gotta run pretty straight.
Yeah, I think so too.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa. Whoa.
Who put that rock there? Great shot. That's all you could do. Good shot. Wow. I like that. Or make it good. Could be 3. Yeah, I like that. Where do I take ice? Earlier, remember? That's what you had earlier. And that's about where it got to.
Quick spot here.
Yeah. Okay. I think a little less. You can sweep. It's a longer guard and it's closer to center line this time. Okay.
Oh yeah, I got 91 and you got 89.
Okay. Let's go. Right there. Yeah.
Okay, let's make it.
You guys like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. You threw a 90 here last time. Okay. 95 we can do too.
That's about what we need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make it.
If it's in, we have to wait for line, okay?
Yeah. Okay. 6. Room. We're in. We're there. Line only. Clean. Room. 5. Real close. Yep. Line only. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Quick. Hard. Top 12. Top 12. Whoa. Over curling. Whoa. Very nice. Good job. Girl.
Should have had in Jen's game.
What have you got of that one?
Yeah, it's kind of... Good call. Good job.
Really walked.
Yeah. A third.
Just get rid of it, kind of?
That's what I would think.
9.5.
This is a critical shot. A 2-point lead going to 9
I think it's a little more than you saw in the other game.
Okay, we got to stay with it past the one top 12 even.
Okay.
Well, if she's been watching her play all week, I bet you she thought she was going to go. That's for sure. Great call.
Little more.
They're always good when you make them calls. This is a tough shot.
We saw Kelly Scott make a tough shot with the last stone of N7 to pick up a point.
Yep. Yep.
She's in danger here, however, of relinquishing the lead. Is she going to get past the guard? Is she on it out front? Oh, she just got by.
Nice brushing. Great shot.
So she will cut the end to a possible 2.
Well, that one figured out.
Fantastic shot.
That's a pressure. Look how close she comes to the other red stone as well.
A little scary.
Great shot. Good brushing.
She had to get one of those 2 reds, and she got the shot rock.
Big point here. 1 up playing 9. Even if you give up a deuce back to BC, you're still going to be in that great position. 1 down playing 10. So this is a critical draw.
A little, yeah.
She's been all over the forefoot all week, though.
Final stone of the 8th end for Jenn Hanna.
Mine's good.
She has not held the lead since the 2nd end when she picked up a deuce. This stone needs some help to get to the rings.
Listen to the crowd encouraging the sweepers.
Good sweep.
And that was a good sweep to take the rock to the top of the 8th for a deuce for Jenn Hanna and Ontario. And with 2 ends remaining in the semifinal, they have a 1-point advantage.
Try your first end.
I wasn't sure, but I tried it.
Your very first end.
We tried it.
You should try it.
Now we do it together. Get out.
Go curling.
It's so much fun!
Meet between the sheets. Be part of a tradition.
Be part of a team.
You don't know what you're missing.
You never forget your first end.
Your very first end.
Come play.
Discover curling.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
See you on the ice.
Get off, get light, and go curling!
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Now featuring free high-speed internet access at most hotels. Visit bestwestern.com for locations.
You wanna rock your world? There's only
The world's best curlers are coming to Victoria. Now there are new ticket packages ranging from 2 days to 4 days and priced from just $75. Call toll-free or online at fordworldcurling.com.
This is where the world will rock, Victoria.
This week on Monday Report, it's Don Cherry.
Yeah, no 7-second delay.
Hey, Don, pass me the puck.
All right.
Oh, it's quite a game.
Don't miss an all-new Rick Mercer's Monday Report, 8 o'clock on CBC.
Camilla won the prince, but the wedding controversy grows. A new special looks at Camilla's long road to the altar, her role in the royal family, and the long shadow of Diana. Princess Camilla, winner takes all. Tuesday at 8 on CBC.
Jenn Hanna continues to be the hot shooter, 2 in the 8th end, to now have a 7-6 lead over Kelly Scott of BC in this, the Scott Semifinal at Mile One Stadium. Here's a couple of great skips, I'll tell you what. Stephanie Lawton of Saskatchewan, her first Scott Tournament of Hearts. And Sandy Como of New Brunswick, her second. Let's start with you, Stephanie. What was the whole experience like? I mean, you got to the playoffs.
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing, Scott, just to be here and be playing in it. And we started off really strong, and we had a couple bumps along the way, but we're really proud of what we've done.
I've got to mention, too, that Stephanie Lawton, the youngest skip of this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts. Great job. Sandy Como, I won't ask you a trivia question, but I will say this. You did knock off Colleen Jones in that tiebreaker. Now, what's that like? I mean, I've got to ask that, to knock off really a dynasty.
Good.
I just went out to play my game and you know,
Yep.
hope for a win. Fortunately or unfortunately, it was Colleen that I ended up, you know, getting that tiebreaker game for a win. It feels very nice. I mean, a lot of people have been very kind to give me some kind words in our game with all of the girls that played. We all played very well. And we had a lot of fun playing against her. She's a great ambassador.
Clean, looks good.
Have you lost your voice?
Nice throw, Renee.
No. I think a lot of people wish I had.
Yeah, I know, but you've been yelling it, as has Stephanie, throughout this. Congratulations to you both, and continued good curling.
Thank you so much.
Sandy Como and Stephanie Lawton, 2 great skips. Back to you, Don.
Yes, Sandy Como got to the second stage of the tiebreaker, and of course Stephanie Lawton, as the third place finisher, lost the 3-4 game to Jenn Hanna of Ontario. And Hanna now leads 7-6 over Kelly Scott in the 9th end. BC this week has not conceded a steal in the 9th or 10th ends all week, and they have not played a 10th end without the hammer.
I am shocked.
It's a little easy.
Lots of room.
No, it's a 9.5, 10.
They called it in the rings. This is going to give BC an opportunity to blank the 9th end, retain hammer coming home, and try to get their deuce. I thought for sure Ontario was going to force the issue, throw the tight center guard, and force BC to take their points. And Ontario have that control hammer. Very interesting strategy decision, Mike.
Absolutely, and we would always throw the guard. 1 up playing 9. You throw the guard, even if you give up 2, again, you're better off 1 down. The consensus generally is you're better off 1 down with as opposed to 1 up without last rock coming home. It's a scary, scary situation to be in, not having last on and only a 1-point lead in the 10th end, because there's no time to make up for any mistakes.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, to see if Ontario can try to force just the single point, go to the extra end. But this may be a strategy error that could cost them the game.
9-8.
Easy. Clean. Clean only. It's got to come up. Nice weight. Good shot.
Well, I told you about British Columbia not conceding a steal in the 9th or 10th ends all week, and not playing the 10th end without hammer, and starting a game with hammer. Kelly Scott is 6-0, and she started this game with the hammer. She trails by a point, however, playing 9.
Clean it. Curl. That's good. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah.
If Kelly Scott's unable to roll into the rings here, Jenn Hanna may want to take a chance and try to get around this guard, even though it's very tight. to the house. I think Hanna needs to take a chance.
9-5.
Whoa.
9.5.
Whoa. It's got a curl. Nice shot, Sash.
Good shot.
There's the nose hit.
That rock is splittable though, Mike, if Jenn Hanna decides to leave it.
It's one of those things, though.
Control.
You leave in the split, try to force it. And, it's the
Right,
exact same thing we talked about earlier. Why not go, and if you give up a deuce, take the chance. Take the chance.
Control.
They're playing this end. BC is playing this end, assuming that their skip can make the blank. Sometimes that's a big assumption.
Why wouldn't you, though? You know, you've been given the chance.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. No roll.
Jennifer Jones will face the winner of this game
Shot.
tomorrow in the Scott final. And she'll be appearing with Scott Russell on Calling All Canadians at the conclusion of this telecast, or at least this game. The telecast will continue with Jennifer joining Scott. I think there may have been more than one or two curlers in the crowd here at Mile One Stadium.
Just easy. Yeah, 9.5. Yeah, hurry.
Well, I agree with Mike. I'd say the majority of competitive players would have tried to force the issue and throw the short,
girl. Nice weight, Michelle.
tight guard and make BC count, even if it's 2 and be 1 down coming home.
That move kind of flies in the face of everything they've been doing all week.
It does. It's the first kind of strategy error that was not very well thought out, but
Control.
We were listening in between ends, and Coach Bob Hanna did suggest that you throw it in the forefooting. He thought BC might throw the corner.
Yep. Clean.
So, you know, it's always a guessing game, but I think when you have the opportunity to force your opponents into being aggressive, particularly Jenn Hanna, who has continued to do that all week, it may prove to be a mistake. And, you know, it just brings down the importance of Kelly Scott's last stone in this end. Taking one would be a huge reward for Team Ontario. Take the hammer going into 10.
Clean. Clean. Lots of line.
Lots of line.
A little bit more weight. Got a curl. Here it comes. Nice rock, Michelle.
Atta girl. Nice shots.
Tomorrow's final will be a little earlier than today's semifinal game. That begins at 12:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 in the morning Pacific Time. Jennifer Jones of Manitoba, the top team in round robin play at 9-2 against the winner of this game, either Jenn Hanna of Ontario or Kelly Scott of BC. Hanna leads by a point as we're down to skip rocks on this 9th end.
Little more.
Nail it.
Hanna is on a 3-game post-round robin win streak. 2 tiebreaker wins over Kathy King of Alberta and Sandy Cornwell of New Brunswick. And the victory over Stephanie Lawton in the 3-4 cage playoff game.
Hard. Clean. Good girl. Good girl.
And in sudden death, only 2 women have managed 4 wins in the history of the Scott. Kelly Law in 2000 when she went on to claim the title.
Good job.
Heather Houston in 1988.
There you go.
Jenn Hanna would surpass both of them if she were to win the Scott. It would require 5 wins for Ontario to claim the title. And as we pointed out earlier, no team with 5 losses in round robin competition has ever won the Scott.
Nine, 2.
Close. Yep. Yep. Your way, Renee.
Right up.
Yep. Hard, Renee. Hard. Go hard.
Let her roll, Renee. Good shot. Good shot. Good shot, Kelly.
Okay.
Good shot.
Well, it's looking very much as though Kelly Scott will have last rock advantage into the 10th
Nice shot,
end.
Kelly. Thanks.
We'll watch Jenn Hanna. She'll want
Hard
to
to get
stay
any rolls with that
in the
bumper
middle of
weight.
the ice, close to the button to make the blank as hard as possible for Kelly Scott, so that her shooter has to roll as far as it can to get out of the rings. So Jenn Hanna has played this entire end knowing that this would be the shot that she'd be leaving Kelly Scott.
The objective for Jenn Hanna is to force Kelly Scott to blank the end if she wants to retain control into 10. She doesn't want to leave her with a free throw to blank the end, just firing it through.
Whoa. Just
By
clean.
playing the end this way, wide open, and the chance that Kelly Scott might blank, she is sending a message, and that is, I will hold you to 1 point in the 10th end, so that I will retain last rock in the 11th.
The hill is where it might
obviously
curl,
Jenn
but
Hanna has
we don't have too far to roll.
that she can hold BC to 1 in the last end.
Here, Kelly Scott mentioned the hill. We have been saying that from the outside in is where it curls most. So if there's a spot
Kinda right
in
where
there
that
curls
hill might
anyway,
be.
this may be it. She needs to be careful. She's aware of it.
We'll be able to hold
You're
it.
talking
You're
about
gonna
the
throw
hill,
like a 9.
about
Keep
a
it up.
dished
Yeah,
piece of
don't have to
ice,
roll far.
and that there may be a holding pattern out here before it starts to curl where we've seen them in the draws.
Big shot.
Kelly Scott wants to blank this 9th end. The blank is a little easier. She doesn't have to roll the shooter as far because of the position that Jenn Hanna's final stone wound up in. Is she going to roll out of play though?
Hard!
No. Well, that
shot.
could prove costly for Kelly
Those are so
Scott
tough.
because she
And you played the
relinquishes
inside out, but they
hammer.
run so damn
Yeah.
dead straight.
That's the
scared
first
to
time
take
she will play
more
a
ice,
10th
you know,
end
not get any
without
movement,
hammer tied at
God,
7.
that comes up,
Jenn.
eh?
Yeah.
It's like it's locked on the nose the whole way.
They say football is a game of inches. I wish we had inches.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts, proud sponsor of women's curling for 24 years.
That's great.
The roar you hear is 20 of Canada's top women's and men's teams competing for the right to represent us in Italy in 2006. And no city in Canada roars more than Halifax.
2 keys.
Hey, thanks. Cheers.
Give him to me! Give him to me! Oh, I think you've sprained his neck! Alexander Keith labored on this beer since 1820, and you plonk it on the head like it's a piñata! It's the pride of Nova Scotia. Give it the respect it deserves. Now, grab that there napkin, make a wee neck brace. No, Nancy, you've done enough for one night. Wrap it around. Not a hat! A neck brace, Jimmy! Is it so difficult? It's not a fashion show, it's an emergency!
The Canadian Curling Association appreciates, understands, and wishes to acknowledge the importance of local sponsorship to curling teams across Canada throughout the curling season. In an effort to recognize local corporate support of teams which have achieved the privilege of representing their province or territory at a Canadian Curling Championship, we are pleased to provide some deserving profile to their respective corporate supporters.
You devil of cancer!
Are the miracles real?
Come out!
Millions think so. They believe and donate.
What you give never goes to Ben Hinn.
So where does all the money go? Wednesday at 9 on CBC News, The Fifth Estate.
All season long, our best bring you the best in championship curling on CBC's digital channel, CBC Country Canada. To order, call your local television service provider today.
This week on Monday Report, it's Don Cherry.
Yeah, no 7-second delay.
Hey, Don, pass me the puck.
All right.
Oh, it's quite a game.
Don't miss an all-new Rick Mercer's Monday Report, 8 o'clock on CBC.
Welcome back to St. John's, Newfoundland from Signal Hill. We move inside Mile 1 Stadium. Jennifer Jones signing autographs for a young fan, and she'll be appearing with Scott Russell on Calling All Canadians after this semifinal match comes to a conclusion.
2.5, 3. Line's good.
Final end, the hammer belonging to Jenn Hanna of Ontario. And Kelly Scott and her BC team, the #1 squad this week in stealing points.
Keep it coming now. Great shot. Nice shot.
40% efficiency in stealing points.
That's
However,
amazing.
as I pointed out, she has never had to play the 10th this week without hammering.
Line only. 6, 7. 7.
And it's very difficult to steal against a skip who can draw the button at will, which is what we've seen Jenn Hanna do all week.
8. Yeah, 7. It's coming down now.
We talked yesterday, Steph Hanna did a great job keeping her stones in front of the tee line, preventing steal opportunities.
Very nice.
Even though this is on the button, it's too deep. And you'll see a second guard here from BC, but provide an opportunity for BC to freeze down to that zone, maybe nudge it back a foot or so later in the end. A little deeper than Ontario would have liked.
Well, Jenn Hanna and her Ontario teammates have been pretty good in defending against the steal this week. They've only given up 10 steals. So this is going to be a very interesting 10th end to decide an opponent for Jennifer Jones in tomorrow's final.
Just been a great game, though. Momentum swinging back and forth between these two teams.
Nice shot.
You know it'll be decided here, and it's tied up.
Okay.
Tick shot being called for here. This is a very important shot here for Ontario. If they don't make the tick shot, there's a double center guard, a rock on the button, and a great chance for British Columbia.
Forward bumper.
In the 3-4 game against Saskatchewan, Steph Hanna made a couple of tick shots. Coming across the face of the Yellowstone.
Sit.
She appears to have done it again.
Incredible shot making.
Kelly can come off that one later if she needs
You
to.
can move the stones in the free guard
Kelly
zone.
can come off
You
that
can't
yellow
take them out of
later.
play.
Yeah.
Still a good chance, though, for British Columbia with the double center guard to
This
freeze
one
down.
swooped quite well in 8, eh?
We heard Sasha talking about that yellow stone on the edge of the 12th, but it is available for an in-off if Kelly Scott needed it, if she was desperate later on.
One of the all-time great in-offs in the Olympic trials in Brandon in 1997. Your skip, Sandra Schmerler, brought the crowd to its feet with her incredible shot.
Gonna have to go soon.
Top 4.
Trying the freeze here.
Line's real good.
No bounce.
Line's real good.
Count her. Go, go, go.
Right down, trying to get to the top of the Ontario stone, a little short.
Stay down like you can.
About 2 feet of separation between those rocks in the rings. And Don Askin is being asked to peel the center guard.
Yes!
Need to go.
Hard.
She's going to stay right there.
Got away with it.
Okay.
That was scary.
But they left a center guard, knocked the rock
Four,
off
like
the top
button.
of the button.
You want to be shot?
And now Sasha has a chance to make this one good.
Same way, guys.
Second chance to come down the same path.
Very important the stone gets into the full 4 foot. Even though it may not get shot, as long as it's in the full 4 foot, it's a stone that could potentially steal you the end. If the stone goes back 8 foot or top 12, it may be an opportunity for Ontario to peel out. Certainly behind the tee line would be a critical error.
This is wide open right now.
Weight is the key.
Okay.
Heavier than her previous
Face
stone
up.
as it slides to the back of the 4.
All right. Nice and normal. Take it. Yeah. Get on. Like you can.
Another peel attempt on the center guard.
Ontario not too concerned with where this one goes because it is their own guard. Next peel, when it's a BC guard, and we're going to see
Normal.
the Ontario will need to be a little bit more careful where this stone goes,
Clean.
where the raised stone goes.
Shot. Stop. Good.
Out of play with the shooter also rolling out. It
Good job, Don.
just chipped the BC stone on the edge of the 12, fully into the 12.
You see those two stones on the 12-foot out on the wings? Those are potential catchers. When they make the peel, you could hit those and spin one of your opponent's rocks into the 4-foot area. Very dangerous stones.
And they could be used, as Joan pointed out earlier. I'll spit that out eventually. As Joan pointed out earlier, for in-offs if necessary.
But we'll see BC continue
And
to put
lots
up
of line.
the center guard. We'll see Ontario
Right to
try to
center.
peel it off.
No, 2.5.
Keep it coming for line. Right over, guys. It's got
Right
a long way
over.
to come.
Right over.
Okay, line's
Need to
getting
make
better.
this a center
Line's
guard.
fine.
They like it right near the center line. There's coming now.
Nice shot, Michelle.
Good sweep. Shot.
Good
Atta
movement
And you
as
see
that stone finished.
the peel, Jen will look and see which turn she wants to use, but there's a rock in the way for either peel.
Shot, Michelle.
She's going to play this one because if it does come off the one on the left side of our screen there, it will come into her own stone on the button that is shot rock. This is ever so slightly safer. Love to make a double out here to clear a path for the remainder of the peels this end.
Yep. Yep. Quick. Whoa. Whoa, clean, clean. Shot. Shot.
She takes it out of play and rolls her shooter out of play as well.
You see two more guards from British Columbia, and then Kelly Scott will have to figure out what the best way to steal will be. Looks like right now, if things stay the way they are, will be some sort of freeze on that Ontario stone, the back of the button.
Kelly Scott and her teammates have not lost 2 consecutive games all week here in St. John's. They lost last night in the 1 versus 2
About the same,
Page
maybe a bit
playoff
less.
game to Jennifer
line
Jones of
again.
Manitoba.
Line's pretty nice.
A little more.
Clean it. Whereabouts, guys?
2.5, 3.
Okay,
It's 3.
line's good.
Yeah, 3.
Shot, Michelle. Atta girl.
And that rock actually picked up some debris. They were calling it was a 3, which is a tight guard. They like it where it is, though. That's the thankful pick.
Again, Jen Hanna checking the angle
Same thing.
as she prepares to run this center guard.
Do it. I think we need one more guard on mine, but we got 2 timeouts, so let's call them on.
Kelly Scott thinking ahead.
Whoa. Close. Yep, yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Clean only. Good. Shot.
Pascal Laton does it again. She was something of an unknown quantity coming in, and she's impressed a lot of people with her play.
Good job, shot. Thanks.
Their longtime third was Joelle Sabarin, who was expecting a baby in May. So Pascal came in to replace Joelle for much of this season.
BC has called a timeout. Jerry Richard comes out to confer with the BC team.
Some of the rings there. Really, what are they going to do? If they peel it, that's fine. We can come down and just bump that yellow one back just a bit. If we can just lock to the inside of it on your last one.
So what are you thinking on this one, Jerry?
Guard?
Yeah, guard.
Guard
In
our
front
rock.
of the yellow.
Yeah, guard our rock again.
We
Long
don't
as
want to
it-
come tight for any reason.
No, I think if you come too tight, then she's always got the possibility of doubling something out. Yeah, we wanted to hit the guard on this one and not hit on the last one. We got a couple options. You can either freeze, just freeze.
She'd only be biting the 4.
Way an even easier shot at getting those sit isn't horrible either. She's got a very small scoring area where she's going to hit the stick. So.
Okay, so one more guard.
Okay. Yep, I like it. It's right up down this path.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to see a guard from British Columbia, first stone, and then their next stone, they're going to come down here and try to freeze this Ontario stone. Assuming Ontario makes the peel, a slight freeze or even just a slight tap back would make things very, very tough on Jenn Hanna.
Right up, like gliding.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Jerry Richard, lots of experience. He was another, he's the father of the third, Gina, that regularly plays on this team. Played with Rick Folk, and he's a world champion from 1994.
With her first stone on this last end, trying to steal the game-winning point to advance to the final tomorrow. Kelly Scott will play another guard.
Maybe 3.
Yeah, looks a little tighter. Line's fine. Let it work, guys.
Just clean.
Bring it up when you can.
You're 3.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Good shot. Good shot.
Very nice.
Perfectly in line with their own yellow stone, and
shot.
that's the one they wanted to guard.
Okay, timeout.
And now Jenn Hanna is going to call a timeout. What if she opted to try and beat Kelly Scott into the rings?
I think she'd be taking a chance. I think the team needs to decide what she wants to be left with.
If I can put it there, it's real good.
Yeah.
If she puts the rock on the corner freeze on the red, does it ever come out? And do we have a shot?
Right here?
Well, then we just have a tap.
A little lower. There?
No.
Do we have a shot?
No.
So you have a couple of options.
I think you've got to.
You got there.
Yeah.
In fact,
I think that's the only shot.
not a good option, but you could.
The other option is
eliminate
hitting the
them.
guard.
Well, the only way that would come out is ding, ding.
Yeah, so we know that she can get there with the intern too, right?
Yeah.
She can get to the button, so it has to be sort of top 4.
Yeah.
I think you gotta nibble the button.
Full
top
forward.
4 is good.
Full 4 is good.
Yeah.
Top half, top quarter of the button.
Yeah.
It's good, right there. Up to you
And
girls.
then I have a short bump if I need to. Okay, let's play it.
Yeah.
Okay.
90.
Jenn Hanna does not like her options here if they left the stone open. So she's elected to
Swear through
put
the draw
play
to
right
the
to
draw.
Kelly Scott,
And what, we
come
took
right
middle,
to the
and
top
we
of the
took
button.
two.
Good news is even if they come up a
Not to
little
center, right?
short of that, they will
Not
have a
to
short
center.
little run back on the intern freeze. But
Take a touch more.
again,
Yeah.
heavy would just be killer. Cannot come behind the tee line.
Jenn Hanna is consistent. She's consistently will take the risk for the more difficult shot, but man, she makes them. So it's an amazing level of play.
If this slips behind the tee line, she will have nothing on her next shot. She has. This is up to the
90?
sweepers to put it in the right
95.
position.
95 is top 8.
Well, Jenn Hanna, early in the week when we talked with her, said she has always dreamt about having to make a very
Full 4.
tough draw
Let's do it.
with one of her final stones to win the Scott. This could be a step in that
7,
direction for
clean.
Hanna.
6.
Clean. All
Line's
yours.
good.
All yours.
All yours. Full 4. Line's good. Got room. Full 4. Line's good. All yours. Piece
They
of the
want
button.
to get full 4.
Go, go, go.
Now the brushers
Hurry,
jump
quick.
on it. Will they drag it far enough to be full 4?
Hard. Help.
What a shot by
How
Jenn
good
Hanna.
is that?
Nicely done.
That is absolutely outstanding.
Had a girl.
She said, I'd
good.
like to nibble the button.
That's pretty good.
Shot.
Good sweep.
Understatement of the year right there.
Let's move up here, girls.
That's
Oh, okay.
pretty good.
That's fine. Good sweep, girls.
Another
Or your
timeout
intern
called
draw
by
is still there to sit right there.
BC.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She has the tap. There's nothing off this one, eh? Doesn't give us anything.
I don't know if that'll squiggle through there. It doesn't look like
Yeah.
it, eh?
You'd almost have to play it to hit the back, eh? Backing up.
do you think, Mikhail?
You just have to admire the courage of Jenn Hanna.
And also, as long as she makes contact on the red.
Can't miss it.
Yeah.
There's no way of punching that red through the hole, kind of, and just clipping that red on the way by.
It's kind of locked in there pretty good. We can't get to the inside of it.
Is there if we lose our back, do we lose all three?
What do you think?
The only thing I'm seeing right now is
Because there's that one too,
if we
right?
can take the jump shot off of this rock and come into the back of this one, back onto that, we might get in there. I don't think there's anything off the top one.
Cal, you don't think this will just go over top?
Off of
and
this
we'd
one?
sit, no, nosing this one. And we'd sit here.
Yeah.
And then they'd end up over here, right?
Oh no, that's not going over top of
No.
No. The only thing would be is if we almost play the port.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll wiggle.
I mean, even if we make a pistol freeze, she just has to nudge that.
You think she'll be able to nudge it far enough, though?
This one, I don't think is going to leave us in good shape even. Like, say we make that, we sit right there, that's still around. I don't know, guys. I think it's off of that or the freeze.
Yeah.
Neither option is very
You
easy.
make the freeze here. I think the freeze she has to shoot. This.
Yeah,
you know?
you're right. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Alrighty.
Let's go.
Those are the options, but either or. This perfect shot by Jenn Hanna leaves Ontario with all the options.
Well, we saw an incredible draw from
Kelly.
Jenn Hanna. Kelly Scott will
Okay,
have
I'll
to
lock
do
it in
the
there.
Ontario skip one better here with her final stone. And it's an in-turn draw,
Okay.
and she has been dynamite with the in-turn draw previously.
It's normal.
None of them
still.
have been
Yep.
anywhere near as difficult as this one. Even if this is made perfectly, Jenn Hanna will have the exact same shot she just threw.
So this stone could determine whether Kelly Scott moves on to the final against Jennifer Jones or whether it will be Jenn Hanna advancing.
This is tight on the guard right away.
Are they going to get past the guard? Frantically brushing, trying to sneak it past the guard out front. And it's all over. Disappointment for Kelly Scott. But Jenn Hanna and her young team from the Ottawa Curling Club will advance to the final tomorrow against Jennifer Jones of Manitoba. 4 consecutive wins in this playoff round, 2 tiebreakers, a 3-4 page playoff win, and an incredible draw with her first stone of the 10th to win the semifinal and advance to the championship. Jenn Hanna, Pascal Latande, Don Askins, and Steph Hanna moving on to the championship here in St. John's.
I'm fighting back the tears right now, guys. Oh, yeah.
As Jenn Hanna said, she's fighting back the tears right now. She was very emotional yesterday in applauding Colleen Jones. Tomorrow she might be even more teary.
As official supplier to Curling's Season of Champions, True Value Hardware presents quality products for your house. Our own Master Mechanic brand is made to last. All hand tools have a lifetime guarantee on workmanship and material. Master Mechanic, your purchase of a lifetime. True Value, around the corner from your house.
Curling. With every game played, your contact to the world expands. With over 1 million participants utilizing 1,100 clubs across the country, curling is an entertaining, social way to stay active. Play for fun, play to win, or just come out and enjoy the membership benefits. Clubs can be assisted by the Canadian Curling Association's Development Fund, which serves to promote, renovate, and offer advice on operations. Get involved. Join a club near you today. It has lifetime value.
Hey, so what do you want to do for lunch?
Thinking soup.
Or sandwich?
Sandwich, that's good.
No. That's not enough. You boys must have proper lunch. Hearty soup and sandwich together. That's proper lunch. Okay?
It's the complete lunch that satisfies.
So, soup and sandwich at Tim's? Sounds good.
Tim Hortons ham and Swiss sandwich on a toasted bun and our new creamy field mushroom soup. Enjoy them in a combo today.
Elevating the new Ford 500 means raising the seats for a better view of the road. It means as much room in the back as in the front. It means taking the sedan to a whole new level. The new Ford 500. We keep thinking about what a sedan should be because we want you to drive a Ford.
I'm Judy Madron. This is World Report.
Wasted little time setting the
Iraqi police officers.
CBC News has learned officers pretended to get tips.
Must be involved when it comes to this.
Oil prices will remain high. Reputation has been damaged by his.
Margaret Evans, CBC News, Jerusalem,
Whitehorse,
London,
Iowa,
Toronto,
Ottawa, Moscow.
World Report. Weekday mornings at 6, 7, and 8 on CBC Radio 1.
Not much doubt about the key shot of this semi-final game. Jenn Hanna with her first stone on the 10th end with an almost perfect draw. This young woman, the 25-year-old from Ottawa, has shown absolutely no fear all week, regardless of the shot. She could not have carried the stone down the ice and placed it any better. That made the final stone for Kelly Scott almost impossible, and Hanna wins by a score of 9-7. And here she is with Scott Russell.
Right wit, Jenn Hanna, all through the Scott. You've played risk and reward. You've taken the chances. That last shot of yours was absolutely perfect. Were you thinking that's exactly where you wanted it to be?
That was exactly where we wanted it to be, and I have to give full credit to my sweepers because that's a shot that's made by them. As soon as it's out of my hand, it's all them to put it there, and they did. Perfect.
Is this a determination that you make as a skip, that this is the way we're going to play? When we're faced with two choices, we might take the riskier one because it might yield the better result.
We just felt that if we peeled the guard, she was going to make probably a good freeze, and I'd have to blast or draw the pinhole for the win. And I guess we just kind of felt, put the pressure on, make her make a really great shot, and even where our rock was, we could make then a small tap if we needed to.
It's been such an interesting Scott for you. You're first as a skip, and I mean, by my calculations, you're going to the final, but it's taken you 15 games to get to that final. I mean, has it felt like it's been that long and grinding?
No. I've loved every second of this. It's flown by. This week has absolutely flown by, and it's been fantastic. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else right now.
You were the fifth for Sherry Madaw at the Scott Tournament of Hearts last year. I know I read a story. You said you were running coffee and you were getting juice for everybody. How much did you learn during that experience, and what have you brought here from there?
I learned so much last year. I've thanked Sherry's team over and over and over again. I can't thank them enough for bringing me with them last year because I really did learn a lot. It's a great experience to go as a fifth your first time because you get to see it all. You get to experience the thrills and how huge this show really is. And I think it allowed us to come here and, I was able to give the girls an idea of what it would be like so that we could sort of come off that a little bit and get down to what's really important, and that's playing the games.
A quick word about your next opponent. Your final opponent, Jenn Jones. I mean, she's a good one.
She is. Great team all around. We're going to have to play very, very well to beat them. And we have been playing well. We're on a roll, and we have confidence, and I think it'll be a very good game tomorrow.
Great match today. Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
There's Jenn Hanna. It's a story of two Jenns in the Scott final. Jenn Jones, Jenn Hanna of Ontario. We'll return to Mile 1 in just a moment.
When Canadians want to know the whole story, they turn to CBC News, bringing you the Canadian perspective.
Officials in this part
CBC News.
Countries
Kidnapped and...
My life is in danger.
The source Canadians trust.
The opportunity to do this.
CBC News, The National, with Peter Mansbridge. Weeknights at 10.
I'm Judy Madron. This is World Report.
Wasted little time setting the
Iraqi police officers.
CBC News has learned officers pretended to get tips.
Must be involved when it comes to this.
Oil prices will remain high. Reputation has been damaged by his...
Margaret Evans, CBC News.
Jerusalem,
Whitehorse,
London,
Iowa,
Toronto,
Ottawa, Moscow.
World Report. Weekday mornings at 6, 7, and 8 on CBC Radio 1.
You won't believe some of these proposals. Look at this one. And this. Phew. Now this is what I wanted from the start. But Mike Pearson wants this. Well, he is the Prime Minister. But blue is not an official Canadian color. Meanwhile, John Diefenbaker and the Tories want this. You know, the only way I'll ever get the whole committee together is to persuade my Liberals to reject their own Prime Minister's choice. Well, the Tories will agree to that at least. Is there one design here that the whole committee can agree on that says Canada? No mistake about it. I wonder. Prime Minister and Mr. Diefenbaker, I was just talking about you. Are we all going to the same party?
Amazingly, John Matheson MP would achieve the unanimity he sought.
Jennifer Jones, who will face Jenn Hanna tomorrow in the final, is getting into position. She will be standing by with Scott Russell on Calling All Canadians. We'll get to Jennifer Jones and Scott Russell in just a moment. The 10th end, an opportunity to blank on 9 for Kelly Scott. She lost last rock advantage going into 10. She had to try and steal, and she was unsuccessful in the 10th end. Scott Russell is standing by now with Kelly Scott.
Yes, Don, the 1995 World Junior Champion Kelly Scott. Anything that you regret about that game against Jenn Hanna?
Well, obviously there's shots here and there, inches here and there, and they had a very solid last half of the game, and when they're on fire like that, there's only so much the opposition can do.
You did come in to that 10th end, though, with the best steal record in the tournament. Did you feel confident that coming home that way that you could get the job done?
I did. We feel very confident when we do have to steal, but she made just an awesome shot on her first one, and really it took us out of the equation. We had a slight glimmer of hope to make our shot, but she had something lined up on her last one anyway. So, I mean, all the credit to her.
What's this say about the Scott Tournament of Hearts? Colleen Jones, the 4-time champion, successively falls. Young skips are starting to take their place at center stage. Is it as competitive as it appears right now?
I think it's a bloodbath out here. These young curlers have watched this game on TV all their lives, and they're thrilled to be in this position, and it's going to be one heck of a final tomorrow.
What do you see? Can you handicap that a little bit for us? I mean, the more experienced skip is Jenn Jones, and yet Hanna seems to be a terrific shot maker.
Yeah, I think both skips are fearless, and both skips love playing with rocks in play, so it's going to be a good game for all 10 ends.
Kelly, thanks so much for this, and congratulations on a wonderful run at the Scott.
Thank you. Hi to everyone back home.
Yep, back home in Kelowna, British Columbia. Kelly Scott today goes down 9-7 to Jenn Hanna of Ontario. We'll return to Mile 1 right after this.
Frank! No, Frank, don't carry it. Dribble it. Dribble it. Frank, dribble it. Frank, shoot.
Is this some kind of Canadian joke, sir? I mean, I know you're the instructor and everything, but if we can't carry the ball, how can we get a decent shot at the peach basket?
All right. Maybe we can allow a carry of a couple of steps.
And Mr. Naismith, sir,
It sure slows things down having to climb up here every time. Well, then let's cut the bottom out of the basket. Yeah, but I need these baskets back.
100 years after James Naismith from Almont, Ontario invented it, basketball was being played by hundreds of millions of people around the world.
Pa should have been here by now. He's 3 hours late already. Pa ain't gonna make it! One of them slave catchers got him. Something must have happened. I just know
Liza,
it.
you both made it past the border yesterday. We've all done this before.
He's our pa. He'll be here.
Come, let's pray.
No more praying.
Liza! Liza!
Between 1840 and 1860, more than 30,000 American slaves came secretly to Canada and freedom. They called it the Underground Railroad.
Liza! Pa! We're free!
Yes, Pa, we're in Canada!
Well, the stage has been set for what should be a great Scott final tomorrow. 12:30 Eastern Time, Jennifer Jones of Manitoba against Jenn Hanna of Ontario. You know, when you look back at the semifinal victory by Jenn Hanna over Kelly Scott of British Columbia, the inability to blank 9 definitely hurt Kelly Scott, but she couldn't do anything about that fantastic shot by Jenn Hanna on the 10th end.
We certainly were critical of the strategy used by Ontario in 9, but I'm starting to think it didn't matter what Kelly Scott did. When Jenn Hanna is making shots so perfectly, so precisely as this, you could not have placed this in any better spot, and Kelly Scott had lost the game before she even had thrown that last shot. Jenn Hanna is going to be on fire again tomorrow against Jen Jones, and I tell you, curling fans, we have some great curling stars to look forward to.
Well, I think Kelly Scott assessed things pretty well at the women's level. It's a bloodbath out there.
That's a great line. You know, you have to admire also the sweepers of Team Ontario. The front end has played so well all through this, and Pascal Latendre was a key in this victory, setting up the deuces in 6 and 8 to give Ontario some control. I look for her to play well again tomorrow if they're going to contend against Manitoba.
Well, there's a lot on the line in tomorrow's final. Not only will the winner be the 2005 Scott champion, succeeding Colleen Jones, and represent Canada at the World Championships in Paisley, Scotland, there's that Olympic trials berth on the line.
Oh, and that's just an extra perk on top of everything else. At the Canadian Championships, the winner takes all. Second place gets a handshake. Do you think that Jenn Hanna is going to put everything on the line again? You bet. And you know that these two teams are going to put rocks in play starting right away. First, second, and it's going to be exciting.
Two women who are fearless throwing skip stones. They like to have rocks in play. That's been their strategy all week. So it is Jennifer Jones, number 1 in the round robin at 9 and 2, playing 6 and 5 Jenn Hanna of Ontario. And we point out again, a team with 5 losses in the round robin has never won the Scott. Jenn Hanna will attempt to change that tomorrow. The final tomorrow, Manitoba and Ontario from St. John's.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by Scotties Facial Tissue. Soft for our seasons.
Did you let the dog out this morning?
Scott Towels, getting you out of big messes.
The Scott Tournament of Hearts on CBC. Brought to you by